The Pat McAfee Show.
There will be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, sir. Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Tom Brady has officially retired Tuesday, February 1st, 2022. What a monumental moment in sports history. Yeah. We can't thank you enough for joining us here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. The boys are here at the Talks Table at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor, who I cannot wait to chat with here in a little bit, at Tone Diggs, one half of the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboys, a gambling show that goes live 15 minutes after this show ends every single day at youtube.com/Hammer, Dahn, D-A-H-N. I appreciate you all. I can't thank you enough for watching. And today is a monumental day. Today is a day that'll be chatted about forever in the annals of sports history. The greatest champion of all time, the greatest athlete of all time, the greatest winner of all time, the greatest football player of all time has officially retired. This is obviously something that the world had been anticipating over the last few days since old Shefty in Darlington kind of cucked Tom Brady out of his own retirement is how a lot of people on the internet are taking this. But in an 8-page screenshot notes section announcement, Tom Brady thanked basically everybody in Tampa Bay. He thanked all of his teammates. He thanked all of his coaches and talked about he no longer wants to go all in on the competitive side of things. I think a big conversation about Tom Brady is he's the greatest competitor of all time because his competitive stamina has remained so high in a sport that is so grueling for so long. When he had accomplished everything you could have ever fathomed or wanted to accomplish long ago, he continued to play, reinvented himself in a new city, won a Super Bowl down there, started businesses, started opening up to people, and we all got a chance to see late in his career why the greatness from very early on in his career had happened and been able to happen for so damn long. His competitive stamina is something that will be chatted about by a lot of people, and he directly referred to in his retirement. Says he has a lot of other things he wants to go on to do, and there's still people holding out hope that this isn't a retirement, although he did say his days in the NFL are now behind him, and he said it's taken him a little bit to get to this point. But whenever you look at all of these stats and all of the ownership of records that this dude has in the biggest league, in the biggest time on the entire planet, 60 million people were watching the AFC Championship the other day at its peak.
Damn.
58 million people were watching the NFC Championship at its peak on Sunday night. The NFL is by far in its biggest boom of all time. And the records that are held by the quarterback position and basically all facets of success in the NFL are by one Thomas Edward Patrick Brady.
Oh, yeah.
Pick 199. A man who has transformed both on the field and off the field.
Oh, yeah.
Pliability must be a real good thing. But look at all of these records. Most pass yards ever. Most pass TDs ever. Most completions ever. Most playoff pass yards ever. Most playoff pass TDs ever. Most playoff completions ever. Most wins ever. Most playoff wins ever. Most Super Bowl wins ever. Most Super Bowl MVP ever. This guy has all of those records. Shout out to Stats Muse for bringing that one to the forefront of our Twitter account this morning. Shout out to Dirty for this incredible graphic. And shout out to that man for being a joy to watch compete over the last 2 decades. And although he was widely hated by everybody because everybody wished they had him as their quarterback and he was winning in a place in which there are a lot of asterisks next to it, and there's always going to be stories. New England, his career will never be duplicated again. And I just want to say thank you, Tom Brady.
Thank you, Tom!
Congrats on coming to that decision. I know it probably was not easy, especially for a man who is addicted to competition. He started 3 companies. He referenced that in his retirement letter through the notes section as well. Autograph, Brady brand and TB12.
Yep.
Let's assume there's going to be more. This guy's going to go on to make billions of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be a great businessman. He's got good people around him. He has so much experience and success, and everything he does, he talks about an all-in mentality. He doesn't want to do that for the NFL because he wants to address other things, his family, his wife, who he complimented immensely for holding everything together. And then let's assume the business is also going to be something this guy's going to dabble into, maybe ease those competitive nerves that he might get when he gets bored in retirement. So he's going to be a billionaire. And there's people already alluding to things that he's trying to get into ownership in places already. So we heard Peyton Manning's in 2 different investment groups that are trying to buy the Broncos. Tom Brady and Peyton are good friends. Peyton actually wrote a congratulations little quib talking about being friends and you're the best. Congratulations, pal. We've seen them working together. Tom Brady hears and sees everything Peyton's doing. He's on a hustle right now. Peyton is hustling right now. Omaha Productions, a lot of shows. He got his own whiskey. He was on Saturday Night Live. He's on Jimmy Fallon. He's out working right now. Peyton's working for some reason. He's on 2 different investment groups. I think these guys are legitimately trying to get to ownership of teams, which would be fucking awesome. So I would assume Tom's going to be in that front as well as we kind of watch this entire story unfold. He said he's going to take it day by day. There's rumors circulating up in New England because he did not reference New England at all.
No.
Nope. And although this was a retirement letter, I think in his eyes, he was saying goodbye and thank you to Tampa Bay because he had already done that to New England just 2 years ago. I did see your tweet at Boston Connor. I feel like you feel the same way, but there's a lot of pissed off massholes that they were not referencing this retirement 8-page note script thing. And now there's rumors, maybe he's coming back, maybe he's doing his thing. As a New England Patriot fan who got to celebrate a lot because of what this man and his teammates accomplished. And that's one other thing about Tom Brady that doesn't get talked about enough. All of his teammates say he's like the best teammate of all time. Like he invests in relationships. He tries to put other people over. He tries to make literally every opportunity for everybody that he possibly can that he played alongside, which is so much time investment alongside the film study and the body work and everything like that. He was the ultimate team guy. So I think him and his team were able to provide a lot of happiness for Massachusetts and the New England area. Not a happy day, though, reading those notes. Am I reading that accurately from the New Englander folks?
From New England, absolutely. I really don't understand it just because, like you just said, all those records he holds, basically most of them were, set in New England and then raised when he got to Tampa. I could give a shit. I mean, really, the joy of not having to live through seeing him play for Tampa Bay far outweighs him not referencing New England and the Patriots. And also, like he just said, thank you. You assume his number is going to get retired this year in New England. Another speech will probably come then where he's going to say thank you again. I'm sure he probably, has that type of thought. My hope now, as you mentioned ownership, though, is maybe Bob Kraft says, you know what, Tom, you are the reason, a huge reason.
We have this Patriot Place.
We have these banners.
Casino.
The valuations in the billions.
Way up there. John Bon Jovi's here.
John Bon Jovi's always there. Jonathan Kraft got to live through this as well with Bob because when Brady got there, I think Jonathan Kraft was only like 25 or something.
He's not doing anything.
And if
he's an intern.
Exactly. And he's probably, he'll get the team pass down, but why not shell out 0.5%? Why not give Tom a little bit of the cake?
A little bit of 0.5%, by the way. That sounds small. That is so much money.
Yeah.
And now he's in the ownership. I believe Work Done was given some ownership by the Falcons owner, Arthur Blank, whenever he retired. I think. I'm not 100% sure. So I'm not sure if there's a precedent or not, strictly because my brain is saying yes, but I'm not 100% sure if it's true or not. Diggs is looking it up.
Yeah, not positive. I do have a little hope Tom Brady maybe comes up, becomes the offensive coordinator in New England. Why
that's
not?
What he signed
It's open.
For sure.
Work under Bill.
Yeah, work under Bill.
Let's get back into desk watching.
Yeah.
Spending 25, 30 hours in a span of 25, 30 hours in the office.
Living the
watching
cold.
film. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he should do.
Hey, what a run.
What
Congratulations.
a run. Thank you, Tom. Realistically, though, do you think some of these, if not all of these networks, are going to be like, we will give you $50 million to call a game once a week?
Hey,
maybe once a month.
You and Shadowline, if you guys want to make any documentary series or content here for our streaming platform, here is all of our money because our ideas have run completely dry. Yeah. And if we were to pitch you the ideas that we would like to make, there's no way we could get enough money to even pay you to do that. So why don't you just create some stuff and we'll run it on our streaming platform. That's pretty much what will probably happen.
Do it in your basement.
He did it with Facebook already, right?
Yeah.
He's already done with Facebook. He did with ESPN Plus already. So he's got relationships in those grounds. And he's Tom fucking Brady. Yeah, I assume his next avenue of media, if he wants it to be, is going to be very, very large. Seems like an incredibly well-spoken guy. And Tony Romo got a lot of credit for predicting what the New England plays were going to be when Tom was there.
Yeah, 2018.
Let's assume that Tom could probably accurately
has a pretty good grasp
on what most people are. I assume he knows football pretty good. I mean, listening to Peyton and Eli, now granted, Peyton would miss on so many predictions on what the next play was, but watching him get upset about bad decisions being made, knowing what he hasn't played in a while, knowing exactly what play was supposed to happen against that defense. Now think about what Tom Brady would be able to do in that entire thing. We might get dueling. What if we get dueling Brady, Manning, Omaha TB12 production, Shadow? I mean, what if we have a dueling who's the smartest football brain of all time type thing? Or will they work together, which is also definitely on the table.
Work Done is a minority owner. It wasn't said if it was given to him or he purchased it, but he is a minority owner.
So this has happened in the past. Then. So there is a precedent for this for former players getting
George House, if you want to throw that in there.
What's that?
Partial owner, or he actually became an owner.
Well, yeah, Al Davis as well. But I'm talking about in the modern NFL. That was back whenever there was 6 teams. It was like Jackie Moon, right, with the Tropics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that I don't want to.
$100.
I don't want to knock it. But I'm talking in the modern NFL era. There has been
the modern world.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to that guy in the parking lot in Pittsburgh at 2 a.m. with a ponytail. Who was asking me for my phone number and other things.
I mean, you're staying in the hotel. I gotta have it. Have a good contact.
No, I've valeted before. I don't think anybody's ever actually needed my phone number.
Well, I need it, so hand it over. I'm sorry. Welcome to the modern world.
That was an actual conversation between me and a ponytailed 45-year-old man
Weapon.
in a parking lot at about 2:30 a.m. in Pittsburgh.
Ripping
That guy
butts.
was the man.
That guy, I don't think that guy legally could hold any other jobs.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Joining us now is, and keep him locked in a garage.
Yeah. Hey, don't come out during the daytime, okay? You stay in here.
I felt like he was a nice guy to us. He felt like he had some empathy, but there felt like there was maybe some demons in there. Anyways.
Yeah, I assume.
A lot of demons.
I'm not giving you my phone number, 2:30. Come on. Just trying to park my car here, dude. Like, what are we even? He didn't want to do it, though.
No.
Anyways, joining us now is a man who knows more about Tommy Brady than any of us in this room or on this microphone. A guy who got to work alongside Tom whenever he was in New England. I believe he still keeps in contact with him. Can't wait to hear his thoughts on the 8 screenshots that were released this morning by Tom, none of which containing the New England Patriots.
Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, former general manager, coaching consultant, media guy, has a podcast, has a book, has done TED Talks, literally been there, done that with everything. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Lombardi.
Good to be back. Good to be here. Thank you.
Wow, you look good.
Woo! Thanks, buddy. Yeah. Thank you. You got to put the fork down, Pat. It's a big thing. When you get grandchildren, you want to live longer. So you got to put the fork down. It worked.
Wow,
now I got to keep it off.
Well, you look great. The grandkids probably very thankful. They can't wait to see old grandpa. Their fodder's fodder.
No, that's right.
How's the family? Live forever. I'm excited for that as well. Let's get right into it. Tom Brady this morning announces his retirement, says his NFL days are behind him. He no longer wants to be the all-in competitive competitor that he has been for all these 20-plus years of great success, both with the New England Patriots in the last year and a half, 2 years in Tampa Bay. Your thoughts on Tom Brady being the greatest competitor, greatest athlete, greatest football player, greatest champion of all time? And how long do you think he saw this coming? Do you think this was beginning of the season, middle of the season, a year ago? What? Just from your relationship with him, what are your thoughts on that as well?
Well, I think when he went to Tampa, he signed initially a 2-year contract. And I think his continuation of playing is all in. And so he doesn't start at the middle of the mountain to climb it. He starts at the base camp. And I don't know this for a fact, but I have a sense that he probably had a conversation with his family and said, look, I want to go 2 more years, and I've got to give myself up for 2 more years. And when Brady gives himself up, it doesn't start in July when camp. It starts in February. when he comes back from the family vacation in Costa Rica, and then he starts this 12-hour-a-day journey into getting his body to where it is now, which is somewhat remarkable considering his age. I thought his movement this year was better than it ever been in his career. So the total commitment, I think, once he made that 2 years, I think that was always in the back of his mind, and certainly the disappointment of the year fueled the fire, but I don't think that had anything to do with it. I think this was all about, I said I was going to go for two. Two's over. That's it. I'm done.
So whenever you think about Tom Brady as the competitor, and you just talked about him going 12 hours a day immediately upon returning from Costa Rica on the family vacation, in which we have seen photos in the past from. He apologized to Jason Licht, the general manager, in the middle of him thanking him, saying, I know I was demanding at times. And then he told the Bruce Arians in his message, like, hey, I know I was demanding at times. That top level athlete, human, business person, whatever, that top level person is going to have strict accountability. They're going to have expectations. They have thoughts that they want to be heard. Has Tom always been like that? And do you think the relationship between he and Bill kind of got blown out of proportion whenever you talk about two guys who probably have a pretty similar mindset in things?
Yeah, they're both perfectionists. They strive for perfection, knowing that they can't ever get there, but they raise the level of everyone's play around them, and they demand it. And then they're the example that people follow. I mean, it's one thing to yell and say, hey, we got to get going, guys. We got to play better. We got to do more. We got to work harder. But when you're watching the guy who's a GOAT, who's done it time and time again, work harder than everybody, stay after practice to work on his quarterback drops that he's dropped 1,000 times a million times in his career, is somewhat important. And I think ultimately, when you see this, that perfection that he wants it from coaches, he wants it from players, he wants it from the trainer, the guy who tapes his ankle. That's just part of his everyday life. And Belichick wants the same thing. So it was the perfect relationship. I mean, this book that I'm writing now about the Hall of Fame and it has a chapter called What If? What if Brady didn't get drafted by the Patriots? Would he have been as successful? I don't think there's a doubt he would have been successful. I mean, he's a better athlete than people give him credit for. He's drafted in the 18th round by the Montreal Expos, a power-hitting left-hander catcher. Well, he was the team captain at Michigan. I think that picture from the combine hurt him more than helped him. He would have gone somewhere, but I think the combination of two perfectionists chasing a dream certainly helped.
You think Bill Belichick's pissed off that he didn't thank anybody in New England and those 8 posts, or what do you think that is all about?
I think that 8 posts is the second chapter of his life. I think he wrote one book in New England. He thanked all those people in New England graciously. And now this is a chapter that he ends in Tampa Bay. And I think those people deserve the recognition. I think the relationship is strong. I think the Kraft relationship is strong with Brady. I think Belichick's relationship is strong. There's mutual respect. How couldn't they be? I mean, to get all the things that Tom was complaining about to Bruce, or complaining about to the players, or demanding of Jason Licht, all stems from his education as a player within the system of New England. You can't escape that. Tom didn't show up in 1999 on the campus in Foxborough when he told Robert Kraft this would be the greatest draft pick you ever made in your life, and that proved to be correct. That he was ever going to, he was already a made product. He evolved like all of us evolved in life. And that evolution he took with him to Tampa. So it was really respectful to the Patriots what he was doing, demanding of those people in Tampa.
What do you think happens next for Tom Brady? Obviously, he talked about his companies, the autograph.io, Brady Brand, and TB12. He's going to be successful in whatever. There's already people talking about him getting into ownership, maybe. Is he going to try to follow Peyton Manning, who's currently a part of 2 investment groups that could potentially buy the Denver Broncos?
I think it would be a crime if Brady didn't take his intellect, his understanding of how to build culture, his demanding perfection, his chasing these competitive dreams that he shares, not back to the football field and run a team. I mean, look, he may not know how to set up a video projector on the road at Texas A&M, but he can learn it, right? And so he understands what it takes to win football games at the highest level. He understands what it takes to play well. I think he would do a disservice if some owner didn't want to include him in their team. I mean, and I think that's something that he should take seriously. I think call him president, call him general, whatever you want to call him. I think he would love to do that, and I think he understands like very few how to build culture.
Whenever, by the way, there's been something happening over here. I mean, with with the amount of incredible headspace you have and with how handsome you look, we wanted to match it. But then we realized, like, this could potentially become you look amazing. No, because we're going to have to move.
Oh, okay. All right. I did it. There you go.
No. Let's go sideways. Let's turn this on bitch sideways.
Let's go. There we go. How'd that look? How's that better?
Oh, wow. Dahn. Everything you're saying, though, I really appreciate because you got a chance to spend time with Tom Brady, I feel like, a lot. What was your interactions with him, and is he consistent? Is that also a big part that never gets talked about, is like just consistently day to day you know exactly what you're going to get from Tom Brady, or is he a fiery guy some days, relaxed as you read room, change environments? What do you think?
No, I think he's as consistent as can be. I mean, he has a routine that he sticks to, and that's what makes him so great. And he's going to come into work, and he's going to prepare. And then through that preparation, and he doesn't cheat it. He doesn't skip a detail. He works on it every single day. And what I admired about him was whether you were playing a bad Buffalo team or a really good Baltimore Raven team, the preparation he did was exactly the same. And it was exactly the same for Belichick and Josh McDaniels and everybody, Billy O'Brien, anybody who was in that building. You know, they didn't take it lightly. And I think that was something to really admire and you watch. You know, there's a tendency that you read the paper, hey, we're playing this team, they're not very good. Okay, maybe I won't work as hard. They actually worked harder. That was great for me to observe. I thought it was fascinating. And to me, there is a certain level of athlete that combines talent with great passion. Michael Jordan, you know, Larry Bird, those guys. This is what Brady is. Brady is a guy who's never going to get satisfied. He truly believes he's still pissed off that he's the 199th pick in the draft. When he was waiting in that draft in 99, he was actually thinking he was going to get picked in the second or third round. He left the house and cried. I mean, he really believed that. He thought he was going to get picked there. And he didn't blame Lloyd Carr for it. He didn't blame the Drew Hansen situation. I mean, he led the team back in the Citrus Bowl. He led the team back in the Orange Bowl. He did things on tape that people ignored. And I think he understood that and used that and fueled his fire.
There's no way he just turns it off. You know, we've all seen it before. I mean, there's no way. I'll be excited to see what this next step is. It's going to be awesome regardless. I
think he's got to be involved in something competitively, Pat. I think the fire that burns inside of him. I mean, look, when the Bengals left Kansas City Stadium last Sunday, and they heard the greatest sound of all, the sound of silence of the visiting stadium. There's no better sound than that in the world, right? And that sound you miss. I mean, that's one of the things, you know, as I on the outside look into the league today, that sound is what I miss. You know, playing a big game on the road and the sound of silence, having those people throw snowballs at you, having them give you the finger, curse you, but you just know you won. And to me, I think that's hard to replace.
As a Stafford said, you know, sometimes it's nice just to snatch the soul out of somebody, you know, and it's like, everybody's like, oh, Stafford's a savage. It's like, that's a great way to depict what it does, that sound you just talked about right there. That uttering disbelief about what just happened, and there's nothing they could do about it at that point. It is a magical, and then the celebration in the locker room, the dancing on the grave of whoever I mean, there's so many of those moments that it only take place for like 2 minutes, a minute. In the locker room, that's like 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, however long, depending upon the game, whatever it is. Chasing those is very fascinating, and we've watched a lot of greats in the past not be able to find it, and they've tried their best, and it feels like Tom Brady is just so goddamn smart. There's no chance of that taking place. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Lombardi, after the Bucs-Patriots game, Brady actually said in his postgame that the fans in New England and Gillette will be able to see a lot more of him when it's all said and done. Do you think it's possible Kraft has already had that conversation with Tom about possibly coming on into the organization as like a president, like you were just saying?
It could be. I mean, I don't know that for a fact. I know that Robert, as his son Jonathan, is the vice chair, or he's in place there as well. And, you know, these franchises are worth so much money that I don't know if you just let somebody walk in as an owner part of it, you know, because of the value of these teams. But look, I think Tom would be a tremendous asset at any organization. I just think that fire has to go. And like Pat said, you can't put that out. It's hard to quench that. I mean, Peyton has that fire, as Pat knows. You guys know him really well. But I think with Peyton, he can find satisfaction in other areas. And certainly would be a benefit to any organization as well. For me, Brady, I mean, if he doesn't wake up with you know, he's a little bit like Batman. He's got to come down the Pat Bowl with a villain. He's got to find somebody he's going to go after every day. It's the Riddler. It's the Joker. Who is it? But we're going to go get him.
I'm not wearing hockey pads. What a day. Hey, Batman's pretty badass dude.
Oh, yeah.
Great depiction there. You think Batman's the most chip on the shoulder superhero? That's what I just heard. It feels like you've given that depiction before. You've given that description before.
I mean, Bruce Wayne has to have that competitive same fiber that Brady has. I mean, you wake up in the morning. I mean, you're just going after some villain. I mean, you got to go find it, right? I got all the toys I need. I'm just going to go make sure I make the world a safer place. I mean, I just think Brady has an insatiable appetite to compete, and you just don't turn that fire off.
Go ahead, Ty.
Michael, I know you said that Brady, when he went into Tampa, basically said, or you think he was more along the lines of, hey, 2 years and I'm done. Do you think are they caught off guard a little bit today? Like, because it doesn't really seem like they have a succession plan in place. Who knows? Like, does this mean that Bruce Arians is probably done and Tampa's basically starting from scratch now?
Well, I think, they had to pay close attention to it. I mean, I was watching the game against the Rams, and when you flashed to the press box and his family, you kind of got the sense there was a celebration in that press box. It wasn't, they were losing big at that time, but it almost felt like a celebration to me there. In fact, my son, who coaches at the Patriots, he thought the same thing, too. He said, you think this could be it for Tom? And then the word started to leak out. I can't believe the Bucs were caught off guard. I mean, they drafted Kyle Trask in the 4th round. Not that they think Kyle Trask is going to be Tom Brady, but obviously they wanted somebody behind Blaine Gabbert to train and watch Brady. I think this is going to change the whole direction. They've got some cap issues they got to work through. And then Bruce, I mean, look, does Bruce want to keep doing this at this point? Or do they hang on to Todd Bowles and say, look, Todd, don't go anywhere. You'll be the next head coach here, or Brian Leftwich, whichever one they want to pick. They can't let a good coach get out of there for the sake of one more season.
Byron Leftwich.
Whatever, you got it. That's right.
Hey, that's one of your best things going, and I know you don't mean it, but what was the other day? The Oshowski.
Dan
Oshowski.
That's why. Oh yeah, Dan. I can't even get his name right, and my wife's Polish. I can't even get his name. That's right. So look, that's why we nicknamed everybody in the draft. So I would just have nicknames for everybody, and then we would communicate that way. I mean, I could still do that with Belichick today. We had nicknames for everybody. It's just a hell of a lot easier, and it works. I'll get it eventually, but I'm deaf in one ear, so I don't hear it as well as you might think.
Oh, really? How long has that been? Is that because you're getting yelled at?
For my whole entire life. Yeah, it was from Al Davis yelling at me for 10 years. No. Oh, those days. It's funny. I had an Al Davis memory the other day when during the the divisional championship game, I kept looking at my phone because there were so many teams that were messing up when to run, what to do. I mean, like this past weekend, Andy Reid's decision to throw it 1st and 10 from the 15. I mean, I looked at my phone. I thought Al Davis was going to call me. What are we doing? Why would he do that? But it just never goes away, Pat.
Hey, Sean McVay with those 2 challenges, he's pumped they won, and we can just move on and not even talk about it. Yeah. Thank God we won. All right, let's just, man, good for Matt. Good for Matty Stafford. How about these fans? How about these players? Yeah, let's move on here. That is.
Looking at, can you explain it? He's got this. I mean, people on Twitter were tweeting that were at the game were saying he's not going to win it. Like, what was he looking at?
That's somebody in his ear, I think, and that person has to.
Get out of his ear.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe for the Super Bowl. Go ahead, Tone.
Well, not about Tom, but is there a coaching hire that you like or dislike so far in the hiring season?
I think I think everybody deserves a fair chance. I love Josh McDaniels. I know he disappointed the Indianapolis fans. I think he spent a long time after he got fired in Denver trying to figure out how to improve himself. And I think he did. And I think he's a brilliant, brilliant coach. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can accomplish there.
Lombo, real quick.
Runs an organization.
Real quick, follow up on that. How come everybody out of that building stinks as their own head coach?
I wrote about it in the Daily Coach on Monday. I think a lot of it, Pat, is the fact that it's harder to train people. It's harder to retrain people than it is to train people. When Josh went to Denver, when he was 33 years old, he was too young to be a head coach. And then he inherited a bunch of people. The Belichickian way is hard to get people to buy into. We had a hard time with it in Cleveland in 1991 to 92. And we got to the point in 93 where we said, okay, no more. The great Tom Peters, this business management guru that Bill Walsh made me read about, he had coined the phrase, train, don't retrain. And we decided to do that. And that's what we did moving forward. And Bill, when he became the head coach in New England, that's why he has so many young coaches around him, because they train. These guys that leave Bill, they think they can change the culture by just retraining the coaches. And that doesn't happen. I think that's part of the biggest reason. And then they obviously aren't authentic.
Old dog, new tricks. Old dog, new tricks.
Who?
Old dog. It's like an old dog, new tricks type thing.
Yeah, like, for example, if you're a defense, there was one defensive coach, and I won't name his name, who was a veteran coach there. You know, he would only watch the last 3 games to get ready for his preparation. Well, for Belichick, the last 3 games could be completely meaningless because they don't do anything that we do defensively. So why watch those 3 tapes? Whereas this coach, I only watch the last 3 tapes. Like, that's hard to change, you know, and so – look, I think all these guys that have gotten jobs so far, Eberflus with their general manager partnership, I think they've got to work towards really understanding how to build a team. The thing I think we're missing a little bit is how to build. It's not about acquiring talent. It's about building a team.
I concur completely. I'm excited to see if Josh McDaniels has success out there in Las Vegas with Ziegler. We were talking about this off air. You know, Mark Davis gave an incredible joke at the press conference. You know, he said, I like to trade Carr. David, not Derek. Yeah. I like to think of Josh McDaniels sitting next to him. He just got out of New England with Kraft and Bill, where nothing is ever said, and just going, what the fuck is going on? What is going on here? How do you think that relationship goes? Obviously, you know the Davis family well. You know Josh McDaniels and Ziegler fresh out of New England. How do you think that entire thing goes behind the scenes?
I think that it's probably going to go really well. And I think one of the things Mark Davis said is he's been observing New England for a long time. First of all, his father was a complete nut about game management, situational football, what to do, when to do it. And he trained Bill Parcells on it. Parcells, when he was out of work as a head coach at Air Force when he resigned, spent a lot of time on the telephone. He was scouting a little bit with the Raiders, but he was also talking to Al Davis. And through that communication, that became this kind of how to understand game management really well. And so Mark Davis has learned this from his father. And when he watches Josh or talks to Josh about game management, when to run, when to throw, when to get the clock going, who's the opponent, who isn't, I think he'll fall absolutely head over heels. And he would know that on 1st and 10 from the 9 with 37 seconds to go, we're not going to spike this goddamn ball, okay? So we know that going in. And so I think that's going to endear him to Josh and build on their relationship, because that's the one thing, you know, that Al was so important about, that really he wanted head coaches to understand that. He taught it too. He really did a long time teaching it.
Okay, so as we wrap up this incredible conversation, we thank you, by the way, man. Every time you come on, we love it. We absolutely love it. What do you think is one thing that's not going to be said about Tom today that should be? Like, what do you think is not going to be said about Tom in today's congratulations? I mean, show this graphic. Dirty made this graphic from StatMuse tweet. All of this is going to get talked about from the football perspective, obviously. Most passionate, like every most for every stat that matters. You know, completions, touchdowns, playoff wins, MVPs, Super Bowl win, like most, just for everything. So this is going to get talked about ad nauseum today. What do you think is one thing that won't get said enough about Tom in this entire celebration process?
The fact that he's one of the most humble people you could ever possibly meet, and the fact that he is truly genuine, and that when he understands how to be a friend to somebody. And just because he's a celebrity, he doesn't let that get in the way of being a friend. And I think that he doesn't see himself any different than that kid that first went to Foxborough in 1999. There's no mantles for all his trophies. He's genuine, he's authentic, and most of all, he's the most humble human being I've ever been around.
That's unbelievable. I'm excited to learn more about him as the years unfold in the retirement of the greatest of all time. Thank you for stopping by and chatting with us, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Lombardi.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you. We'll have Adam Vinatieri on in the third hour as well.
Okay.
Chit chat about his son deciding to go to UMass.
Oh yeah.
Over LSU and some other schools.
Okay.
To go punt at UMass. I got a chance to stop by the reveal party they had last night, take some pictures, let AJ know. Fucking good on you, pal. Happy for you, earning that thing, getting a scholarship to kick balls. Didn't want to take any of his dad's money to go walk on anywhere.
That's sweet.
I love it. Seems like he has a chip on his shoulder because everybody assumes with the last name he's just going to expect things. He works his dick off. I love that kid. Yeah. I'm excited. It's really cold and windy up there.
But
I mean, he's a punter, so I guess if he can battle through that, he'll be good. Just, you know, as old Uncle Pat would say, I actually posted underneath one of his earlier things, like, where am I going to go? You know, he was supposed to. I'm like, we're going to LSU where it's warm every day.
Right.
Okay, and we're playing in front of her. That's where we're going, right? And then actually, Mrs. Vinatieri, Mama Vinatieri said, whenever we saw you tweet that, we actually thought, oh, you don't know. Or, oh, be upset. They said we almost told you back, but he went to UMass. I'm incredibly pumped for him. He's a baller. We'll talk to his dad, who obviously won some Super Bowls alongside Tom Brady and was a teammate of his. We'll also have David Bakhtiari on.
Oh, here we go.
In the next hour of the Green Bay Packers.
fella.
So we do not have Aaron Rodgers on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, but we do have equally important to the Green Bay Packers' success or lack of success.
Yeah, bingo.
David Bakhtiari, who we did not see play in the divisional round in which we thought he was going to be back. How's he doing? How's recovery? What are we looking like for next year? And what's he saying to Aaron during all of this? Another team is now looking for a quarterback that Tom Brady has retired, potentially, or is it inside? We got to get to a break here. 37 minutes into hour one of this. Tom Brady has officially retired February 1st, 2022. We'll take some phone calls on the 5-Hour Energy phone line, 1-833-4-McAfee. Go to 5hourenergy.com. Use promo code McAfee to get 10?
Oh, yeah.
10% off all of your 5-Hour Energy orders.
Oh, yeah.
Bingo.
Hey, they're delicious.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Can't beat him.
Get the job done.
All right, we're back in 4 minutes. Congrats to Tom. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
The game's going to be different without you, pal. Yeah. Can't wait to see what he does next. See you in 4.
Hello, my name is Evan Fox, and I am a Lions fan.
Foxy loses.
Biggest joke of a franchise ever, dude. Your team blows.
Lions fucking stink.
Oh, shut up, Fox. Lions fucking stink.
The Lions fucking stink, Foxy. Get out of town.
Get out of here with that Lions bullshit, Foxy.
Lions fucking stink, bro.
Foxy, dude. Download FanDuel Sportsbook. The Lions are 11-6 against the spread.
Should we just make it real? Should we just say, hey, we're done, we're riding off into the sunset? I mean, do you want it to be live on your show that Vinny's officially done? Is that what you want?
I don't want that, but if it's going to happen, happy it's happening.
Yeah.
I would like that to be known. So don't feel obligated. Don't feel forced.
Put it this way. Hey, let me see. Today is what, Wednesday. By Friday, if paperwork goes in, you heard it here first.
First of all, congratulations on a legendary fucking career, dude. In a game that revolves around the score, okay? That's how they pick winners and losers, is in a game in which they keep score. To be the all-time leading scorer in scoring sport, I think many would say, hell of a fucking job. Yeah! Unbelievable. South Dakota kid, you didn't have an easy way either. You went over to Virginia to train. You're a high school teacher, I think, or a substitute teacher. Then you go to the World League over in Amsterdam. Somehow survived the off-the-field activities that you could have fallen into. Stayed focused on kicking. Go into New England. Beat out Matt Barr at some point, even though he had an incredible career. Win Super Bowls. Memorable moments. Biggest moments in the sports history revolve around your foot in a lot of cases. Congratulations, man. You're the fucking best. I was honored to be your teammate. Yeah. Hey, welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here on Tom Brady is officially retired February 1st, 2022. Hell of a career, pal.
Thank you, baby, Tom.
Thank you for your service to football, Tom Brady. Can't wait to see what you do next. I assume he's going to go on to become a billionaire.
Yeah.
Big in crypto, too.
It's really close, right?
Get those laser eyes.
I don't know, a billion's
Combined with
Giselle, oh yeah. I think they're up to like 700, I believe.
Yeah,
total.
but then there's like this thing called taxes.
Yeah.
And like all that stuff.
Well, and everything that's on there, as if you just Google it, typically that is very wrong.
Well, and also, yeah, nobody accounts for, taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And there's more taxes.
Yep.
Tampa.
And then there's, okay, so that's a 4% or 5% save on the state income.
International taxes. 'cause you probably
Just
got
the amount of
houses and-
taxes. The amount of taxes that I'd assume. Yeah, but somehow all those they all dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge their way through that
what do you
entire
think he
thing.
was meeting with Microsoft about?
I don't know.
How do we get around these taxes?
I guess we should have like an accountant on, like Phil. We should have Phil on to figure out how he would potentially do his dodge, duck, dipping, and diving of the taxes. But to become a billionaire, just simple math, you have to become a 2 billionaire.
True.
Yeah.
Just if you start thinking about old Uncle Sam and the state and the county and wherever else you live at.
Yeah.
It looks like online they combine their net worths. Obviously, like doesn't count for it, but they're both like 400 mil, unless they're worth 800 together.
Well, and then do they not spend any money at all ever?
Right.
So if they
They
spend
have
some
houses.
money and they have that stuff. So I think $1 billion's a lot. It's a lot of money. But I assume he's going to go get it.
Yeah, it's with TB12 because that's not going anywhere. The Brady brand he just launched will probably end up doing very
Autograph.io
well.
is what, NFTs?
NFTs.
Yeah.
That's only going to go.
That's only going to go.
You'd assume. Is it actually?
Who knows?
Of course, yeah. Of course it's going to go.
Yeah.
Well, he might also own like 1,500 Dunkin' Donuts franchises that we don't know about.
Bunch of car
He's just
dealerships
got them
like
stashed
Elway.
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the one down here at the gas station.
Exactly.
This is actually one of the Brady 12, Brady branch,
Yeah.
Brady dunks, dude. There's other news happening around the NFL, although it is going to be probably pretty Tom Brady littered for the next few days in the sports media world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of stories coming out. Can't wait to chat with Vinatieri in the 2 o'clock Eastern hour about his time with old Tom Brady. I do believe still friends. Every time we went up and played up there, which every year in my career we played the New England Patriots, I learned. My stats are not great. Win-loss, 1-7.
Well, yeah, but that's Colts overall because they stink, remember?
Well, yeah, but I was 1-7 against Patriots in my career. Did have a 49-yard average, no big deal.
That's pretty good.
Gave up a tud, though.
Well, and the play.
Well, I didn't punt that play.
No,
I
you
should
didn't.
have just punted that play.
No, it's bullshit. Because whenever I rewatch it now, because you pointed this out to me, they were running your stuff on the bottom of the screen. It's bullshit.
Yeah, my name is the only name attached to that entire bad play, Pat McAfee, but my stats are pretty good. 2 punts, 49-yard average, not bad. All right, I appreciate that. But anyways, I can't wait to hear the stories that roll out from maybe the people we don't know. And I'm not saying people don't know Vinatieri, but like Lonnie Paxton is the long snapper for the Patriots. He's a part of the Kentucky Derby crew that goes with. There's going to be stories about Tom and how he has acted and handled himself, and stories that we have never heard of that come out through this entire retirement celebration. And I'm very excited to learn about Tom Brady because if you do recall, Vrabel said in his Man in the Arena documentary, which Tom Brady's documentary series, in every episode did a documentary about other people in the middle of it, which even goes more to like the super teammate guy. Like my shit actually going to be their shit as well. Vrabel said, this little picture perfect quarterback you guys have, not the fucking case.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, he can handle a little bit of, shit fuckery around. And I can't wait to hear that type of stuff as well as we continue to move on. Around the NFL is considering cannabinoids and marijuana in a way to rehab and make pain go away.
Wow. Yeah.
It's a big statement.
Huge.
Because the NFL, whenever they make a decision, it allows other people to be like, well, the NFL's doing it. So that, just like whenever we thought the COVID thing was going to go away, the COVID testing thing, weeks and weeks ago when there was like 200, 300 people on the COVID list because Omicron came through and was just hitting different teams at different times, we actually saw the big homie Omicron go around the country because it would hit each facility in the NFL. Well, now, obviously, not all states are represented by Omicron, but there was a time where it was going through the South and then up there in the Northeast and it hit the Midwest and then somehow never hit hit Dallas somehow. I don't know how they had any. They had a bunch of negative tests down there somehow. They continue to have those. But the big homie Omi was running through everything, and everybody seemed to be surviving the Omi. Now, people have passed away. Moment of silence for all the people that have passed away because COVID is a son of a bitch. Omicron was a big fat bitch, though, from what I've heard. Now, some people, I assume, had it worse than others, but the homie Omi was going to get everybody. And I think there was a slow narrative building in the real world that could have got expedited whenever the NFL was potentially going to come out and say, hey, we're not testing anymore. This thing is just like a cold, just like a flu. I didn't say that. Do not shut me down. No. I'm just saying this is what we thought was potentially happening. I was quoting people, and they were going to roll back their protocols. Now, they didn't do it at the time. They did it like a month and a half later, same situation. Now we're seeing Denmark has dropped their protocols.
Denmark.
I'm not saying Denmark was waiting for the NFL to do it. I actually thought there'd be a lot bigger expedited. There'd be a larger expedited process of every other league in business refusing to test after the NFL came out and said, we are no longer testing people unless they are symptomatic and coming through. And it just so happened to be their biggest games of the season. Dr. Alan Sills came out and said, we ain't testing anymore unless they're symptomatic. We are done with the 500 positive tests every single week when it's just the big homie Omi coming through and he's a weak ass bitch, basically. So I thought that was going to kind of go elsewhere. It has not, I guess. No. That has not happened. We're actually learning about Radio Row. Those protocols are getting stronger and stronger as the days go on somehow, when it feels like everybody else is doing different stuff privately, publicly, privately, and also in league-wise. I'm not 100% sure, but the NFL normally sets the standard for other stuff. So if the NFL says, you know what, in states in which it is legal, our players are allowed to medicinally get prescribed and our insurance will pay for cannabis, medicines.
Treatments,
medicines. There's some bigger word, isn't there? I mean, isn't there a bigger word there? I fucked it up.
Medicinal?
Well, in medicinal states, we get it. We got all the words. We got all the words. If they say that, though, I do believe that is an eye-opener for a lot of other people that are maybe a little bit hesitant, saying, oh, these old school business folks, the NFL, who are currently raking in money everywhere and able to do, I guess they're able to do whatever they want to do. But if they open it up, then you're going to see obviously other places open up. I know the NBA stopped testing for it, I believe. The NFL reduced or got rid of the penalties for if you test positive for it, although they are testing positive for it, just a lower level in your system. But that type of decision, that type of statement has ripple effects everywhere. And as somebody who enjoys maybe a good vitamin usage or two, when I'm in a state in which it's available, this is great progress for everybody. Shout out to the NFL. Now, they said they're giving $1 million towards the research. I don't know what that's going to do.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a lot of
What's
cash.
$1 million going to do?
Well, what are they researching if it's already legal in states? Like, why?
Well, if NFL players are allowed to get basically the insurance paid, as a treatment, I think they're going to study it as an actual treatment in which the physical therapists or the trainers or the doctors are able to prescribe that as opposed to something else. I'm not 100% sure. I think that would be the answer and why they would be doing it. And this comes via Adam Schefter. By the way,
man,
he's not being talked about in high regards.
No. People hate his guts.
Took it on the shins this week.
But we still are using his information, I guess, for this show.
I mean, he's out there. He's got the scoops.
He doesn't care. He's just going to power right through this.
That's his job.
Oh, he did the accumulation of information. Then he went on Dan Patrick's show with a cup of coffee, basically. He was like, basically, fucked everybody over.
That's correct.
And then took a sip, and then he just kept on doing his thing. And then with this situation, we are not walking back. No way. Everybody's like, it feels like Tom, who has a business relationship with your network that pays you, kind of wants to do this himself. Do you think we should maybe fall back? No. Fucking run it on Sports Center. No. Actually, drop Jeff Darlington's name off.
Please.
Have it be all me. That's what I would like. He's not being loved in the information scoop business there, but that's a good one, I think, out of the NFL, although it feels like just we're doing it, but hopefully they'll actually embrace it.
Well, they kind of had to do something like this if they're going to do the Toradol thing, right, where they're basically saying, like, hey, you can't do certain anti-inflammatories anymore that a lot of people were doing. Like, you can't just get rid of that and then have no replacement for it.
Yeah, and then now the studies are coming out, obviously, and I tweeted to Governor Holcomb because in the gubernatorial debates, Governor Holcomb's big stance was, I'd just like to see more research.
Please.
More research. More research. I mean, it's good for like 20 states or whatever, but Governor Holcomb wants to see more research, more research, more research. Now, the NFL, who I think Governor Holcomb has respect for, I think a lot of people potentially in that vein of politics maybe also enjoy good football. I'm not 100% sure. I think that's maybe something. I don't want to paint a broad brush, so maybe this will change their tune. But then somebody tweeted me immediately and was like, no. In your state, there's one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies on earth. Because then the medicinal cannabis for pain killing is directly competing.
Cutting into their profit.
So now the real world is starting to get into football again, where it's, reality versus fantasy land. What's probably going to happen, what's never going to happen, and why we're here is because of money.
That makes a lot more sense.
Lucas Oil's neighbor.
It's a shame
but it's not just here, by the way. I assume that is also
a lot of places.
in a lot of places.
For sure.
That's why the rollout's so slow, because there's big-time lobbyists. Hey, they got big lobbyists, and they cannot lie.
That's right.
These other pharmaceutical
we're not doing
companies.
that. Shame everyone can't just be like Denmark.
Well, that's for we don't know their political, but you're saying COVID protocols.
I just know that they make good decisions.
Elon Musk is reporting that Denmark has ended COVID restrictions. Once again, this is not our words.
No.
This is the alien who came in and had space shit happen. Elon Musk. Hey, what are you guys trying to do down here on Earth? You want to get rid of gas emissions and still have a fast car? Boom! I'm going to make the fastest, quickest, most luxurious car ever and be 100% electric. All this shit was available for everybody for years and years and years, but I showed up, mastered it. My car's better than everybody's. And also, here's how I did it. Fucking go ahead and do it. Oh, what's next? Oh, we're done with traffic? And subways kind of stink? All right, I'll just build this underground tunnel system around cities for no money at all. I'll do it for free. I'll become a billionaire 3-4 different times with different ideas, and I'll just give away all my money, and then I'm going to tweet, this guy is from outer space. He's from another planet.
Right.
We understand that. We appreciate that. It is him reporting that Denmark's no longer doing it. Not us.
No.
So take it up with Elon.
Yeah, COVID insider now. I mean, Elon might be breaking it on every country that's going to come out and say, hey, Elon, send out the tweet, we're done.
You think Elon ever just hops back in his little ship, and who knows if he just cracks it open and he's a little guy inside.
Yeah.
Boom, and he goes in there, and he flies his ass straight up into his other planet and goes, COVID, did you guys...
Couldn't predict this.
Do we have any answers?
I assume he was excommunicated.
With his people?
Yeah.
No. He goes up there and gets ideas, comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. The flamethrower, biggest, baddest flamethrower of all time. He's like, I feel like these dumb earthlings would love just a thing.
The kid's ATV. I don't know if you saw that. The Cybertruck ATV.
Well, the Cybertruck is another thing.
Yeah.
And it's just...
What do you think?
I'll tell you what,
you think he's lower class then? Because what's he doing slumming it down here?
No. I think he's
rich down here.
By the way, this is one of these things. I actually watched a documentary last night on Prime with Dr. Stephen Greer.
Okay.
He's formerly of the who knows what's real and what isn't. Anyways, he said he doesn't like the fact that there's always this narrative that the aliens are coming down to kill us, and it's a bad place. He thinks they just want to come down and have actual communication and chit-chat and talk and everything like that. So when you say slumming it down here, maybe he's coming down here to befriend us so that we would be able to be cool with his people, who might be literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years advanced and more than us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's like the Israeli space defense guy who said, hey, guess what? They're inside Mars working with humans as we speak.
Inside.
Boom.
You can go back. I've been on a record. I figured it out.
Oh, yeah.
Elon's tunnel in Vegas, though. A lot of traffic in that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, the reviews haven't been as good as the plans.
Turns out we can still screw it up.
Yeah.
Well, he's screwing. He needs to figure that the
He's
fuck
going
out.
to space now. He doesn't care about the tunnels anymore.
No.
Yeah, he's going the other way.
Yeah.
They're looking out.
Yeah.
You guys are all going down like we did in Mars. We don't need to. We need to get up to Mars, actually.
Yeah.
Hour 2 is on the other side with AJ Hawk and David Bakhtiari. We'll see you in about 6 minutes. Congrats, Tom. Hope you have a great retirement. You know what my life consisted of yesterday after that game ended?
What's that?
Bunch of fucking clown emojis with mustaches burying me.
Oh, no.
I mean, burying. Go. There's a bunch of, it was nonstop, same emoji. Sorry, last one. Maybe, says Penny's thoughts. Just abs. Fire, Balky. There's another one. I'm here for this douche's meltdowns. A clown. Teal Tomahawk. And then Dahn, back and put respect on Jag's name when you talk about, because they're Colts kryptonite since the top 3 quarterback retired, a.k.a. Manning. Y'all motherfuckers got the first pick in the draft again! Ain't nobody putting respect on you. You're not putting respect on your teams. Have you got a clown as your fucking emoji? But this is what I actually kiss our teal asses. Good morning, Pat McAfee Show. Just a reminder, the Colts will not be in the playoffs. Matt Hole!
Come on, Matt.
This team has not been in the playoffs.
Come on.
And he is just and right in sending this to me. This clown is right.
Uh-huh.
Because what happened yesterday, after that game yesterday, and then it's not just.
Oh, my God.
By the way, it's not just clowns on the internet around Clown Town, Duval County.
Holy
okay,
shit.
this whole thing has kind of crept into our group text messages.
Absolutely.
So our group text messages this morning, as we're getting ready for the show, lots happening. You know, a lot of coaches were fired.
Yeah.
Flores, he won 8 of the last 9 games. See you later. Nagy, Zimmer, Fangio, I'm talking, there's a lot of big time news happening around the NFL that maybe we could talk about instead of the Colts thing, but no. Even in the group text, they just sent this over like 20 minutes ago. A perfect QBR, 100.
Okay.
Average QBR, 50.
Makes sense.
So it's not like grades. Average would be 70s,
Right.
70s or whatever. In the NFL quarterback QBR, 50 is the average. In a play-in game, okay, which I didn't know it was. I assumed they did.
Yeah, I would guess they did.
Maybe.
And last week, by the way, against the Raiders was as well, I guess.
Right.
I mean, and how's your family? What a fucking win. We will talk about that.
Yeah.
Because Staley's ended up on the side of a stat that isn't that great, but it'll be ignored because the greater stats say something different. Whatever. Stat that. That was actual. They're not like your bullshit.
Well, I still think mine are.
In a playing game against the worst team in football, number 1 pick again.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Carson Wentz posted a QBR of 4.4. What are we doing?
Yikes.
Is that a real number?
I don't know where the 4.4 came from, to be honest, after watching.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there was a completion or 2 out there, but what the fuck happened? I just saw a picture of you getting out of, I think, a 757 that was from Jim Irsay. What was that, and have you ever been in that plane before?
I thought it was like the team plane to fly all of the Indianapolis Colts. Literally, I mean, it's got the logo on it, Pat, and it was awesome. But look, that's just Jim. Pat, I had a wonderful 14 years there. It's obviously the team that I wanted to play for always. I understood the decision he had to make, and no hard feelings, and for him to send his plane to fly me and my son down here, it was a great gesture. A lot of room for me and Marshall. We were throwing the football. So, pretty cool experience. Pretty cool father-son weekend.
By the way, as he's moving from event to event right now, you are the best, dude. Where are you headed right now?
I'm going to the game. I got Lynch. I got Faneca. I got these guys in the background.
Boys, congratulations. Yeah. Congratulations, boys. All right, Peyton. Oh, hey, there he is. Marshall, I hope you enjoyed that plane, pal. Hey, Peyton, last thing here. You talking to Tom Brady, you becoming friends with him. It was interesting to watch. Oh, yeah, take the photo. Take the photo. All right, we will wrap this up.
Well, I'll tell you, Pat, I don't think anybody can do what Tom has done. Look, I know how hard it was for me to get on the same page with my receivers, learn a new system, learn new coaches. But I had a full off season. I was injured. I was rehabbing. The fact that Tom has done this in a COVID pandemic off season, no time to meet with his receivers. He met with his coaches illegally by breaking into Byron Leftwich's house. So besides that, it's been incredible what he's been able to accomplish, and he deserves all the credit. His leadership is what's put the Bucs in this game today, and I have great respect for him because I know how hard it is, but he deserves all the credit.
Hey, how did you know Red 18 was coming?
Pat, I mean, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you telling that story and just growing the legend. That was about the 18th time I tried it. I was 17 going into that. And, you know, when it doesn't hit, you just keep walking and nobody ever really tells you about it. So when it hit, I was as surprised as you were. And the reaction from some of the good old folks there in the casino that night was pretty special.
Well, I appreciate you doing that. You made me and those folks in the casino a bunch of money. Congrats on the Hall of Fame nod. Thank you for spending time. Enjoy yourself at the game, Peyton.
Pat, thanks, pal. I appreciate you.
The Sheriff Hall of Famer, Peyton Manning.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Tom Brady has officially retired Tuesday, February 1st, 2022. Hour 2 begins right now.
Yeah.
Can't thank you enough for joining us. The Talks the Table there, right on cue. You guys sounded good. Harmonized almost.
Thank you.
At Ty Schmidt, his quarterback has to make a decision this offseason. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Next to him, at Boston Connor. His quarterback for 20-some years just called it a day today.
Yeah.
And he has since posted on his IG story, thank you to the Patriots and thank you to Pat's Nation, retweeting a quote from Robert Kraft about his retirement. It's a glorious day to see the greatest of all time say, hey, you know what? There's a new chapter to come, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I know there's probably still going to be some people. This son of a bitch, he didn't even write us a letter. Why the hell is he only just saying thank you? There'll be some people like that. I personally really don't care. I'm just glad I don't have to watch him in Tampa Bay anymore.
Yeah, Pat. And that is a great point. We had a conversation about that in the hour one there, and I guess I could see how that's, possible. But what did I tell you whenever he went down to Tampa?
That people are only going to remember him in Tampa.
Yeah. Well, and you said the different thing is obviously there was 6 Super Bowls in New England, as opposed to what happened with Peyton, where he went to Denver, he retired. You don't ever see him in a Colts jersey.
No.
Unless it's a throwback clip. That is the only time you see it. He is in a Broncos jersey almost all the time because that's when he broke the records. That's when he became the most this. That's when he did whatever. It is different because of the 6 Super Bowls, but I could see how the Patriots people got a little bit upset early saying, you're saying we ain't a part of this whole thing? I think Tom was thinking 2 years ago he gave an entire thank you to New England. Yeah. Then he just did an entire documentary series called Man in the Arena thanking New England. So he just wanted to let Tampa know, although you're a small piece of the puzzle here in the entire story, I do have special appreciation for these people.
Absolutely. I mean, won a Super Bowl. I feel like no matter what, you win a Super Bowl, that team's immortalized.
Well, he said he wants to see he wants to be invited to the next boat parade.
That's right.
He said, I want to be invited back to the next boat parade. This place has been awesome. Matt Tone Diggs is here. One half of the Hammer Dahn Cowboys. Hammer Dahn is a podcast, a gambling podcast that goes live 15 minutes after this show ends at youtube.com/Hammer Dahn. And joining us now, I can't wait to hear what this man has to say about it. The greatest football player of all time. The greatest winner of all time.
What?
Maybe the greatest competitor of all time.
What?
The greatest 199th pick of all time.
What?
The greatest quarterback in New England Patriot history.
What?
He is, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, that is a stat right there.
He's the greatest quarterback in NFL history, but you can say
he's certainly a stat. He's the greatest quarterback in the history of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
What?
Because if you're the greatest quarterback of all time, ipso facto, every place you go, you are the greatest quarterback in the history of that franchise.
Yeah. Shots fired at Mike Glennon, though. Jeez.
Well, big bad Brad.
Wow, Brad Johnson. Yeah. Oh, my God. What if Tom Brady becomes a trick shot artist? Like Big Bad Brad 14.
That might drive him insane if he has to do that.
I see him throw the ball, hit the moon one time.
True, yeah.
He's not going to do something he can't be the best at. And Brad Johnson.
Big Bad Brad, Big Bad Brad 14 is going to be tough to top. He'll do 7 trick shots back to back to back to back to back to back to back.
First take.
So whenever people say, well, what take is that? I mean, that might have been 4,000th, but you are watching him hit back to back to back.
Right.
Little twisty doody.
Oh, yeah.
Little spinner Rooney.
Yep. Twist shot.
Head butterooski.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he does it all.
Yeah,
He's unfucking believable, Big Bad Brad.
Every trick in the bag.
With that being said, no offense, Big Bad Brad 14. I love watching your stuff, and I enjoyed you on the field. Tom Brady, greatest quarterback in the history of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Right. And to join us now to chat about it, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk. AJ, sorry about that little Big Bad Brad 14 rant. We did not mean any disrespect to he or anybody else in that conversation there. But Tom Brady officially retiring. His NFL days are behind him. Your thoughts when you woke up and read that this morning? And do you think he hates Schefter and Darlington or no?
I don't know, because this didn't have like the crazy rollout like we thought. Like, didn't we think? Like, have we seen a video yet from Tom, or is it just this 4-page Instagram post and then a follow up to say, "Hey, sorry, New England, I love you guys too"?
Yeah, what happened? Do you think he said, people think we're going to do some big production? What if I just put a photo out there and just fucking in my notes section, just screenshot it and put it out? Like, how does that happen? I wonder how that is, and that's awesome. It's Tom Brady, so it's huge. It's absolutely huge. It's the greatest football player of all time. He's retiring, just in a post. Here we go. How's it? How you doing? Keep it moving. And now in an IG story, he is thanking the Patriots and Pats Nation for the entire thing, even though he did that 2 years ago. I didn't expect this to be the way to go about doing things, but maybe this was the plan all along. Whenever I figure it out, I'm just going to tell people. What are you going to do? I'm just going to post it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Maybe.
If he's that married to the social media game, I fucking love him. And I'm very, very thankful, because we as social media people are very, very pumped that is how he chose to do that.
Well, and that would make sense if Lombardi said he's the most humble guy he's ever met in his life. But also, I can't imagine. He didn't anticipate it happening like this, and then he said, he didn't want it to outweigh the games on this weekend. And at this point, it's just like, all right, I can't. They kind of forced me to this point. I can't just not say anything for a week now or whatever I have to do. I don't think this is how he planned on it.
A lot of people on the internet are saying that he was forced into kind of doing this earlier or unexpectedly. But then he has to understand also that if there's any word that he's definitely, like, somebody's going to talk about that, he's Tom Brady in the world that we're in. And he acknowledged that on the Let's Go podcast. We're in this information era where everybody wants to be first. You got to be first. You got to be first. And he acknowledged that is the existence we're in. And people can act like it's not and wish that it isn't, but that is the reality of the situation in which we live. If somebody gets a piece of information, they most definitely want to have it be first, and they're paid for it to be first.
Yes. I think it's a shame. I think it sucks, because who cares if it's first? Like, it's going to boom, boom, boom. It's all like all of them are going to have it. I understand how it works, but like I know you don't. I know I don't. But their bosses do care who put it out first, I guess.
Well, and that's the interesting thing, because the nature of Twitter, if you're the first one out on anything, you're better off. Like, you have to live on Twitter to be good at Twitter, because you have to be in there before anybody else. You have to hit early. If you hit late, you're dead. Everybody else has already done it. So then whenever you add that with Scoop Game, where there's everybody else around it, I think that's just a natural recipe for nightmare situations to happen. But when you talk about personal relationships and what happens afterwards and plans, I'm happy we are not scoopers.
Yeah.
I'm happy we are not scoopers. Like, very, very happy we are not in that game. That would be very difficult.
It's like that clip of, was it last week, of Shefty when they cut from him on camera and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm on there doing live hit. I'll call you back soon," or something. Like, he's on his phone or sending a voice memo back to somebody.
Yeah, and how about whenever Ian Rappaport goes, "Oh shit," in the middle of an interview? "Oh, I gotta go. I'm so sorry."
In the middle of Connor asking a question.
Yeah,
he ignored me. That was much, much different story.
Yeah, he actually went back to back on those days. On our show, he wasn't paying attention during a question. In the show the next day on sports radio.
Yeah, Eberflus got hired.
Yeah, oh shit, on FCC regulated. He said, no, I said, oh shoot. Whatever the case, Tom Brady retiring is big news. That's another team that needs a quarterback, maybe. That means that Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger probably going in together.
Hell yeah.
So I don't know how Ben. Oh no, Ben.
What's wrong?
Yeah. Well, that's Tom's weekend.
No, it's a Hall of Fame weekend.
Hey, shout out to Ben. Honestly, shout out to Ben on the football field. But that's Tom Brady's weekend. We all know. Hit that thing with that Wayne train. Who's coming out last?
Yeah.
Whose teams are playing in the Hall of Fame game?
More fans of who are going to be in Canton will be more black and gold, or
Oh, you're thinking you guys are going to kind of hijack that entire thing?
There's going to be a lot of Bucks fans there.
More Bucks than Patriots, you think?
Yeah.
There will be. I mean, I'm not sure about that, but there will 1,000% be more Steelers fans.
Listen, it's going to be a party. It's going to be everyone's going to be celebrated.
Okay, so if that's Tom Brady's weekend, he played for 2 different teams, won them a combined 7 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
You think there's no chance that just measly old Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, representing Ben Roethlisberger? There's no chance that there's going to be more fans for Tom at that than Ben Roethlisberger?
Yeah, I genuinely think that. I mean, you can anytime.
Hey, that says a lot there. Huh?
I mean, it's Steelers Nation. Yeah,
2-hour drive.
Yeah, much closer. You go to any stadium during any game, there's...
Tom Brady took you guys to 6 parades in like 12 years.
Yeah.
Jesus. I mean,
is Brett Michaels inducting both of them, you think?
Well, John Bon Jovi.
Come on, thank you.
John Bon Jovi.
Christ.
Oh, who is it, Connor?
John Bon Jovi, dude. John Bon Jovi, John Bon Jovi.
That's not a song.
Hopefully Bon
Dance
Jovi puts
monkey
Brett
thing.
Michaels through a table if he's there.
Thank you.
So Tom will win the weekend. That'd be like the putting over of Tom.
If it means Brett goes down, that's fine with me.
Hey, Brett Michaels would sacrifice his body for the good of Ben Roethlisberger having a Hall of Fame weekend. I don't think that's something he would. Brett
What if
Michaels,
it's Steelers Bucks? What if the game is Steelers Bucks? Are Patriots fans going to be pissed?
No.
Oh, the Hall of Fame game?
Yeah.
No, I hope it's not the Patriots. I mean, you've said it's the worst experience for any guy who's
Yeah,
on
but this
team.
is all what you're
This
doing
is
here.
Tom.
You're missing the point.
Oh, for
Yeah.
Brady?
Yeah, you're missing the entire.
I would assume they'll do Patriots just because Bill
It'll
will
be Patriots,
there.
Bucks probably,
Oh, yeah,
right?
probably.
And so now the Steelers aren't even in the Hall of Fame game.
And
That's fine. They were in it this year.
What? It's just they just gonna say, hey, Ben, next year.
Hey,
you
sorry
know?
about it, Ben. What if Ben doesn't make? No. This is 5 years from now, man. This is 5
What if
years.
Ben doesn't make it?
What
You
if,
guys were
what
ready
if
to
Ben
build
says
Phillip
no?
Rivers
Yeah,
a
what if Ben
statue.
says
What,
no?
what if Ben says no? What if Ben's
He
like,
would.
not this year? Tell me
Also-
next year.
Yeah.
And then the next year is Aaron after 1 year.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well, who's
no.
got more Super Bowls?
Well, we'll see, man.
This isn't the
We'll
end
see.
for Ben Roethlisberger.
That's true,
Also,
actually.
Adrian Peterson, Gronk could be going, and if they're done this year, it could be just the greatest Hall of Fame class of all time.
Jeez, you're
Celebrate
Right?
everybody.
might
100% right. But there's one person coming out last.
That's right. Yeah, sure.
And that guy is very pliable.
Yep.
He's walking right out there, Tom Brady. Congrats to everybody going to the
Congrats.
Hall of
Yeah. It's awesome. Who do you think's going to do his speech?
Congrats 5 years from now.
We were just talking about hypothetical dramatic situations that could come 5 years from now. And by the way, we'll be talking points on every single show.
Oh, yeah.
Are the New England Patriots fans embarrassed or upset that they are not included in the Hall of Fame game ceremonies? Like, that'll be an entire thing. More on the other side of the break.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be 50 to 100 Jordan or Brady going forward probably till the end of time, actually.
AJ, let's hear your thoughts on that.
What? What's the question?
Greatest competitor of all time, Tom Brady or Michael Jordan?
Ooh, great question you ask, Pat. So I don't know any of them up close and personal. I haven't got to watch them compete. I've watched them as a fan, just like you probably have too. Both of them, I'd say I have a hard time edging one of them out. They both seem ultra competitive.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't think there's a score that you can give on the competitive level, you know?
Yeah, but AJ's lying. He played against Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't know him on personal level. He doesn't see his day-to-day. He doesn't see what he does in the morning, his routine, his go-through. What does Michael Jordan do as well? Let's see. He's probably going through a lot of stuff. I'd assume he's playing like 72 holes of golf.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And then he's going out and just beating the dog shit out of somebody for 82 games straight, 60 minutes at a time. I mean,
Tom definitely goes down, though, as the most, beloved teammate of all time. I feel like for being as great of a quarterback as he is, you don't really hear anything bad about him from any former teammates or coaches. You only hear they speak very glowingly of Tom.
And sorry there, I didn't know you had more there, but you're not putting somebody down to lift somebody else up when you said that, by the way.
Not even close.
No, you
What
were
do
just
mean?
lifting up Tom. You weren't necessarily saying that Michael Jordan wasn't the most beloved teammate of all time. That's not what you were doing.
It didn't have anything to do with Jordan. I'm just saying, I was thinking
know.
of Tom, have you ever, because if you think of how great Tom is and for how long he has done it, I know personal stories from many guys that I played with, that I'm friends with, that all have crazy interactions with Tom when they were on the Patriots or whatever, just how he is. And you hear it from everybody. What is it? Harrison was talking about how he goes in there and Tom introduced himself to him and all that stuff. Tom does that to everybody. He reaches out if guys get cut. He's yeah, man. I don't know if we're going to see anybody else like him come through again.
I agree. The humility Lombardi said in the last hour, Michael Lombardi said, what won't get said enough is how good of a teammate he is and how humble he was. He was incredibly humble. Although he was a star, you would have never known it. And that's interesting because all anybody used to paint him as was the prima donna, diva, cheating bastard from every other city in the AFC looking up at New England. Look at this guy, get special treatment. He's this, he's that, he's all this. And then you start hearing behind the scenes stories. He was like, no, they actually felt that they were the blue collar ones and everybody else was all of the things that you're saying. They were just super quiet and locked up about it and they just won forever. That's vastly different than I think what all of us expected. Growing up in Pittsburgh, everybody in Pittsburgh hated New England. Hate Cleveland, also hate New England.
Yeah.
Went to West Virginia. Everybody there hated New England unless you came from Boston, in which there wasn't a lot of people there. No. Everybody's from New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Ohio. Everybody hated New England. I come to Indianapolis. These motherfuckers hate New England over here. Literally everywhere I have been, and I assume in a lot of places you have been, NFC is a little bit different, I guess, because they don't have to run into this thing every single year. But everybody has hated Tom Brady and the Patriots. And then now I'm learning about them, and I'm like, I feel like a lot of the people I know actually would be fans of this team. Like, I feel like they love the blue collar.
But when you say hate him, though, because he has been so good for so long, isn't that a big? It's a jealousy / hate type thing.
Yeah, when you're at the top of the mountain, obviously everybody has a chance to take a peek at you and hate you for it, right? And when you're else, not everybody gets to
like
see
the Yankees. Didn't people hate the Yankees when they're rolling because
Yeah.
they spend so much money? They're big, high-profile dudes.
Yeah.
So people are, I don't like the Yankees at all because they're so good.
Well, and there's a lot of asterisks, I think, with both of those teams. Now that we're talking about that have been thrusted in there. Whenever you are a dynasty, a winning dynasty in which there's supposed to be level playing field for everybody, how are you winning all the time and everybody else isn't? You have to be cheating is a natural thought by every other fan base, every other coaching staff, who would definitely employ the same methods if they would have thought of them for sure without even questioning it if they would have done it. Maybe some have. Okay, sorry about some coach who's going to... I think it was McAfee say that all coaches would have done what Bill in New England was doing. I would have never allowed that with my program. Okay, I'm sure there's some of them, but a majority of the coaches that I have encountered would have done the exact same shit if they thought of to do that. Now, there will always be asterisks next to it, and I think that is why people naturally hated him. But then as you learn about Tom, it's not just like his former teammates telling stories about like, yo, this guy is fucking the guy. And then you watch a documentary, it's like, this dude works like 12 hours a fucking day, like blue collar mindset, never feels like he's given the respect he deserves and just hates everybody, it feels like, to kind of get on his thing. It's like, I feel like the more and more we learn about him, the more and more people would like him. In this entire retirement thing, there's a lot more people on Tom Brady's side saying, hey, you guys kind of ruined this guy's moment. And I don't think a lot of people would have said that years ago, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't think that would have been said by anybody, you know?
I think with Tom in Tampa Bay, and I know, like, aside from Patriots fans they all feel different ways about Tom, what he's done in Tampa Bay. But I know people that aren't diehard Patriots fans have been huge Tom Brady fans while he's in Tampa, and they don't want him to hang it up. Like, I know from all age ranges, people are like, man, I don't want him to leave. Like, I love watching what he is doing. I think a lot of older people, like a lot of people my parents' age, will tell me how they just love watching Tom. Like, man, I want to see him play until he's 50. So I think him going to the Bucs even gained him a lot more fans now. They don't have to hate the Patriots.
I think so too. And that's what you said there about older folks wanting to watch him play more. I don't think that's a narrative that's been around long from even those older folks. Like, I think that has evolved mightily. Well, go ahead, Connor.
Well, it felt pretty aware, like when Brady left New England, a lot of people started liking him, whether it was with, like, even people who didn't like him in New England. Like, it was clear that it was more so New England they hated than Brady as the individual. Because, like, when the Bucs went to the Super Bowl, you know, they do those polls, who in America's rooting for, and everyone was rooting for the Buccaneers.
Do you think that recognition came from the people once he left? They were like, I don't hate him, I guess, as much.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird feeling. Right. And then he goes on Howard Stern for like an hour and a half and tells and sounds like a human. Then he does these documentaries where his teammates are kind of going through his entire career, and you're learning more about the early days. It's like, holy hell, I think we've had this guy wrong all the time.
Yeah, to your point, the last pick that he threw against the Titans or whatever was one of the happiest moments of my entire sports career. And then he went to Tampa, and I was like, oh, this guy's not bad. And then this morning when he retired, I was like, oh, I respect this guy now. It was kind of nice to replace all that hate with respect in your heart.
Hey, thank you, Tom.
You said you didn't respect him before? I feel like people still always respected the hell out of it, but they hated how good they were.
I don't think so. I don't think there was any respect for it.
Is it because people think he's cheating? Like, if people really think the Deflategate thing, if they're hung up on that, that's crazy to me.
What do you mean?
I don't care if he deflated if it was half filled up. I don't care. He still has to throw the ball.
Yeah, and they won by 50.
Yeah, and that helped us more than anything because we ended up winning against Seattle. Then there's that gap year, and then he gets suspended in 2016, and then he's pissed from that, and then we won the Super Bowl that year. Like, even though all that shit happened, like, it ended up helping.
Another ring.
Yeah. And Spygate was in 2006. Because of that, in 2007, they talked about this in Man in the Arena. Tom Brady said the whole team was like, "Oh, you thought that was because of Spygate," and so they went 18-0 and lost in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they found little ways to be like, "Oh, none of these people think we're working hard. They're just saying we're cheating."
Yeah.
So fuck everybody, and then they just go undefeated. They were blowing the fucking doors off a team.
Oh yeah.
Being that teammate, by the way, though, and I don't want to say lifting everybody up. But when he became a free agent, I assumed every team wanted him. I honestly assumed that.
Me too.
I was very loud speaking into this microphone. So now there's 28 teams that are going to be calling Tom Brady, going into that whole thing. Who's going to be on the move? What team is going to have a brand new look next year with Tom Brady? And then we get into his free agency, and then there's hasn't been as much action in Tom Brady's free agency or whatever. I'm like, who's fucking running these teams? This guy, and I guess it was only a 2-year plan, but as soon as he gets in your building, everybody gets better. Everybody becomes the same type of mindseted person with, hey, I don't want to be the reason why we lose. We got a guy who can definitely win. So that goes through equipment managers, that goes through trainers, that goes through every player in the building, every coach in the building. Heightened expectations immediately happen when somebody like Tom walks in. And from the sounds of it, he's very hands-on. He'll be alongside you, trying to even help that entire thing. I assumed everybody would want him. That was not the case, but it worked out for Tampa, I think. I think it worked out for Tampa pretty
Where does Tampa go from here? That's my question. What do they look like next year?
Back to the dump.
Are they dead in the water? No starters signed. Free agents everywhere. And not a lot of time. They're over the salary cap. Their coach is going to retire because they got to start over. Feels like they're dead. It does. Hey, hold on. Yeah, that wasn't. I think they're folding down there right now. I do believe, if I had to guess.
That entire division, wide open.
Wide open. Saints, $71 million over the salary cap. Tampa has 0 of their starters back. Last year, they were some on the defensive side. Last year was a big thing that they had all 22 starters back, and then AB chimed in, sign AB. They signed AB. Everything obviously went down the way it went down there. Now it's just, they got no quarterback. Everybody else is either an unrestricted free agent or restricted free agent. Tom Brady, that is a wild scene down there. Byron Leftwich, I guess, is not going to Jacksonville after he was going to Jacksonville. Todd Bowles has not gotten a head coaching job anywhere else, and he re-signed a deal to potentially be next. So maybe there won't be as much turnover from the coaching staff as we expected, but that whole team is going to look much, much different than Carolina.
Yes.
Sam Darnold's division to lose.
Well, and then Atlanta, Matt Ryan's still getting paid another $33 million.
Yeah. Tapper's going to shell out a lot.
Panthers going to trade everything for Deshaun Watson. Everything.
I don't know how they're going to do that.
About Russell?
I don't know how. There's a lot. Maybe Russell. Okay, well, that's a whole different conversation. That's a whole different conversation. The Deshaun Watson stuff, I don't know how that happens. Maybe if all gets settled and figured out and there's more.
Is something coming in February? Doesn't he have a deposition in February or something?
We're in February. There was a deposition last week.
I think
But I thought he is speaking with somebody.
Oh, man, I have no idea.
Taking the
I don't
stand.
know.
Maybe.
Anyways, maybe though. Maybe bring him back to Carolina. That's how it's going. And then maybe it is Russell Wilson. If Russell Wilson gets there, that means Russell and Sierra would have to agree to that, right?
Yeah.
That'd have to be something they concur to.
Team 3 would have to all come together.
Well, I wonder if that's a council voting. Do they vote it, write it down, and then the tribe has spoken type thing? Or is it a yay, nay? Is there an aye?
How many votes does Russ get? Does he count as 6 votes?
Probably 3.
3.
Yeah.
Wake up, dude.
He doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who's going to want to play for Rule and Ben McAdoofus, though.
Who, Russell?
Yeah.
What'd you call the coach?
McAdoofus?
Oh, that's mean.
What's his name?
Ben McAdoofus.
There you go.
Oh. McAdoofus?
Yeah.
He set up to come join us the first day at Radio Row.
We're going to see all these people.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to see all of these
awesome.
people.
Yes.
I got a text from somebody that wasn't necessarily thrilled about our coverage of their coverage just moments ago.
Well, they're Klein, so.
Who could that have been?
It was our coverage the other day.
Yeah. Just run through the
yesterday.
the clubs from today, yesterday, and last week.
Yeah, maybe. What are we supposed to do?
Got to cover it.
Got to do it. Who am I?
Who did you go after?
Do better.
Nobody, actually.
I don't think I ever go after anybody, to be honest with you.
Stern but fair.
I honestly compliment Boomer Esiason.
Yeah.
Right down.
I don't think any of us really go after anybody.
Did Boomer text you?
You guys go after people. Boomer did not text me. We will probably meet at Radio Row, I assume. He did not text me. Boomer did not text me. Boomer's a guy who played the game. He's not a.
Yeah, gotcha.
Hey, you two?
Mm-hmm.
I am hoping for you guys to meet your comeuppance.
Yeah.
Maybe
I know.
with some people.
It's gonna be a long line of people just smacking.
Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe you guys
thing.
just sit there and put your faces like this,
Hell yeah.
and people just walk up. And you guys have those, you hold on to that thing, and you guys have those slap things. I think you guys should be able to slap back. I don't think you guys should just get slapped, but I do believe there should be one of those moments. You know what I mean?
I'm genuinely trying to think of who.
I was gonna say Stern
So am I.
Fair. I think is a pretty accurate way.
Just those two?
Yeah. No. I mean,
Ursay should probably punch me in the teeth. But aside from that, I don't know.
Colts organization, probably.
all right, well, let's get to a break, okay?
Carl.
Before we get too far into this. Carl wants, I don't think he's going to be a radio row.
No.
Plus, he knows.
He's not allowed on radio. Right?
We need to get AB.
Hold on, I think somebody reached out about having maybe AB on the
Book
show.
it. Let's do it. Moment of silence for myself.
Thank you.
One greatest football player.
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of those Hall of Fames, he'll definitely be at Big Ben and Tom Brady's.
Actually.
And what are the chances? Like, I would assume you look at his records, and we have not done that. Antonio Brown has quite a case to go into the Hall of Fame as well.
They were showing his
quite a case.
Yeah, from like 2014 or 13 to 18, he had like 150 more catches than everybody.
So the Hall of Fame class of 2027 will be Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, Tom Brady, Gronkowski, Adrian Peterson.
Wow.
Andrew Whitworth, maybe, if he retires after the Super Bowl.
Holy hell. What a lineup.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm ready for those speeches.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready for the speeches.
Maybe AQ Shipley.
Maybe.
He'll get in on that.
possibly.
Yeah.
As a coach and player.
AJ, is that the year you're going to go in?
Yep, me and AQ are going in together.
Big Ten Hall of Famers.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big Ten Hall of Famers for sure. We're back in 4 minutes with David Bakhtiari, booked by AJ Hawk.
Let's go.
Is he okay? How's the knee? What happened? Divisional round and more with David Bakhtiari in 4. We'll see you then. Hey, after death, what happens, Bill?
What happens after death? I don't know. I have no idea. But I know there's nothing that's mad at me.
That's good.
It's just so stupid. Because he created everything.
Or she.
She, well, definitely a she, because God doesn't take responsibility for his own actions. What? You set me. You set me up. No, I just don't understand. Like, yeah. If you just watch nature videos, you can't believe in a God that cares.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I watched this one time, this fucking baboon or a little monkey. There was a baby gazelle, and they go after him if they can get him. And he got it away from the mother, and the mother can't get rid of the thing. And he just ripped the thing and just started eating the thing alive as it was screaming in agony. And I'm just like, you made something that did that? Or like rabbits? Like their whole fucking purpose is just to be eaten. They have no fucking defense, just fucking hopping around. Just complete jerk-offs, right? And then they just like, their only survival is if we fuck so much. We can stay out in front. Like they're literally designed to keep everybody else alive by being eaten alive.
So you think there's some flaws potentially in the entire...
No, I just think that, I think if there's a God, right, and he made all of this shit, or she, right, or they, or the deep state, man, I just think that, he did what he did here, and he just moved on.
Hell of a machine.
310J, dude?
Oh, top of the line.
That's when they were singing about being sexy.
That's right.
Yes. The 310J, when somebody saw it, that's sexy, and he was like, the country music, you're right, it is. She thinks my tractor's sexy. Oh, look at that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Hey, that's got a good cockpit in there. Yeah. Right. Kind of looks like the Pope Mobile with all the glass around the top there, but it ain't no Pope Mobile because this one's fucking breaking grind. Hell yeah.
Party in the front, business in the back, am I right?
Well, I do believe we got business
on
both
ends.
sides.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, the plot down there in the front is, although a good time. It is a good time to get that thing going.
Fun.
Business is being handled, dude.
Getting plotted.
And then on the backside, whenever you start cracking earth.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
You need the excavator back there, the big dog.
And you know the thing about the seat on this 310J, it turns.
Yes, it does.
So it's always in the front. You know, whatever you're working on, business can be on the front, both sides.
That's right. Controls all around.
We worried about those front tires?
No, not at
that's
all.
how they roll.
No, they survive anything.
Those are standard Deere backhoe tires.
Look at the back
Someone like
tires,
you might be worried
Foxy. Yeah, exactly. Foxy.
I'm just asking questions.
Foxy, it ain't about the front wheels. It's always about the back.
That's right.
All right, because these rear wheel powered vehicles that you would never understand.
Yeah, you don't know anything about that, Foxy.
You have no idea.
I would not know.
Wake up.
I got friends that know. I don't know.
Listen, when you're drifting gears, okay, on a rear wheel, especially if they're 600 some ponies, you got to watch for like any, plot holes or debris.
Of course.
Because you can and then hit a tree. Because the back end kicks out. And then you won't drive that car ever again. Because how are you not supposed to drift it? And I guess, how are you not supposed to hit another tree?
Yeah, right.
That's my life. Doesn't have to be yours, though. Thank you, Andrew, for calling from the 310J. That's a beautiful piece of machinery.
It is.
Gorgeous.
Take that thing another round. Oh, look at that thing prop itself up.
Lift kit.
That's why the wheels don't matter in the front, pal.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here on this Tom Brady is officially retired Tuesday, February 1st, 2022. A little rock in the back here. To my left, AJ Hawk. With some sports talk. A song that rocks. The boys are here at the Talks table at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor, at Tone Diggs here in hour 2 of this February 1st, 2022. Joining us now is an all-pro left tackle from the Green Bay Packers. Didn't see him this year because of an injury that was withstanding last year. How's he doing? What's the future look like? How is the Aaron Rodgers situation affecting you? Ladies and gentlemen, David Bakhtiari.
Yeah!
Hey, man.
How you doing, guys?
Hey, great to see you. I want to let you know, when AJ texted me and said, Samuel Takatari can join us today, I really got pumped. I got excited. Thank you for joining us today, man. Where are you? Are you still in Green Bay there?
No, I left Green Bay. I'm actually back in Southern California. I'm currently at a Proactive Sports Performance. This is a little mural. There's our little guy for Aaron Rodgers Tuesday up there.
Oh,
yeah. So,
is this
out here just doing some rehab?
Is this where we see the workouts of you and Aaron and them with balls and everything? This is the place you guys all do your workout?
Yeah. Those they're like the kind of senior citizen kind of little workouts that we got going that we that's our little secret off season that we do.
Okay, well, let's talk about last season and the off season. Your injury, was it rehabilitation that happened? Was there a slip up? Was there much more injury than was being reported? What do you think happened, and how pissed off were you all year not being able to play? I assume that was a very difficult thing to deal with.
Yeah, no way to mince it. I mean, I'd like to make a joke about it because that's usually my defense mechanism. It sucked. I wasn't a fan at all. Sitting back, not being able to do much. I mean, I can't blame anyone. There's no one to blame. I mean, it's the car. It was the hand that I was dealt, and I just got to get through it.
Hey, I saw something where you said you got this knee drained 15 times during this season. Is that right? All in one season, or over the course of your lifetime?
No, I was just talking about just trying to get back out. I mean, my knee got down to, I don't know how, I mean, I could say these numbers. People have no idea really what we're talking about, but I think, people that in the field.
No, don't talk COVID. Don't talk COVID.
You're talking CC talk. You're talking CCs here, not COVID.
Oh, okay.
We're talking, cubic centimeters. Good. Yeah. So, I mean, I was pretty much all year, especially post scope, I probably didn't get below 60 cc's of fluid. And I was in between 60 to, the most we drained was 96.
What should it be at?
It should be at 0. I mean, I think your knee naturally holds between, 10 to 15 of just synovial fluid just to keep it kind of lubricated. And post-op big guys, I would have totally been fine playing with anywhere from 25 to 30, 35. But I was sitting at about 60 was probably usually the lowest, maybe in the high mid 50s.
To follow up on this is basically whenever you see people who have any knee problem, we'll talk about it, where they can kind of jiggle a gel that feels like is inside the knee. That gel, that cc's of shit, whatever, synovial fluid, puts massive amounts of pressure on everything inside of the body because it's not supposed to be there. So the more swelling it is, it's not just an indicator that it's hurt, but it's also putting more pain and more stress on every single piece of the knee, which is why he's saying you can play it at like 25, 30 as opposed to anything above that. Am I breaking that down accurately? I had knee issues as well.
Yeah, I mean, you might have a PhD for all we know. The only thing is, it's not synovial fluid. It's technically called fusion. I think it's the proper name of the whatever that fluid that's in there.
Why was that happening, you think? Was that was something not clicking? Was something not healing right? Was there an infection? What do you think it was causing all that through the season?
Every ACL injury is like when you hear a guy tears ACL, it isn't just that, and sometimes it is. Sometimes just strictly isolated ACL, and that's it. I had 2 other things that were in there, and I mean, long story short, it's my body's way of telling me that it's not ready yet, and that's the most unfortunate thing when you try and do everything you can to make it work. It's just I said it was the hand that I was dealt, and like when I went back out there, so you said I didn't play last year. I played 27 snaps.
No, not as much as we would hope, because we love watching you play. Love watching you play.
No, but I was just talking about actually today. I mean, I probably went in that game. I probably had close to I was probably in the mid 50s, maybe close to 60 cc's of fluid in that Detroit game.
God, so it's tough to move, obviously. A lot of pain happening there. We missed you in the divisional round. I think, obviously, everybody in Green Bay missed you all season. Aaron talked about you a lot. Obviously, wearing the socks and the whole thing, wanting you to be there, feel a part of the team. That type of isolation is difficult. So I would assume that not only the rehab isolation and the COVID protocols and not being able to recover as fast as you had wanted or you thought was going to happen, plus now you're leading down the future that is uncertain, the mental toughness that you're going to learn through this last season and now is going to catapult you to another 10, 15 years. It's a good thing.
If that's what it takes, I mean, I'm sure I'll go through this to
what do you think?
10, 15.
What do you think about next year and the guy that's behind you? I mean, there's a lot of personal conversations that have to happen. How do you feel about all of that? Are you a part of the recruiting process back home to Green Bay, you think?
Maybe. I don't know. No one's made that explicit. You know, it's interesting. I think AJ and you guys hang out with him every Tuesday. You know, the only person who's really going to know is him. And even when he knows, it's funny when I see reports, everything come out, how close I am with him. I'm really curious. I'm like, who are they referencing? I would love one time, or maybe a couple times, if someone would just actually put a name on it, like call him out, and let's just really see if it's actually real. Because there's so many times I'm here, I'm like, where did this come from? And there's times I'll sit with Aaron and he's like, who the hell is this close friend? And we'll just laugh about it. He'll just sit back and just to like see the Twitterverse and all these other social media platforms just go crazy. It's like, what? I don't get it. I don't get where people talk about their source, and I'm like, just put the name on it then. I don't see what's so hard about that.
What do you think? So I know, like you said, Aaron's the only one that's going to know. I know from my personal experience, I've told him to his face, like, hey, I don't think you're going to retire. I think you're too good, and you know how good you are. And I think if you come back, Green Bay gives you the best chance to win another Super Bowl. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I think exactly what you think. I also have a little more bias because I'm going to be there too, unless there's something I don't know. So yeah, of course I'd like he's pretty much one of my best friends when I play football and also outside. Like, I would love to have him around. It would suck not seeing him every day. I mean, I've worked with him for about 9 years now. I'd love to go on a decade. I don't really know where he'd be. I agree with you. Can't see him retiring. He's too competitive, even though he does say that, there's that possibility. I can't fathom it. But then again, I mean, I don't think we all could have fathomed Tom Brady retiring, and here we are.
On an Instagram post out of nowhere. But I think Tom Brady retiring, by the way, probably leads us even more to think what you two are saying about the competitive drive. And I don't think he's going to retire with Tom Brady saying, I don't know, maybe it doesn't even factor in. Maybe he's running his own race. You guys know him a lot better than I do. I love the fact, though, that both of you, whenever Bach, I don't get a chance to talk to you that much, but AJ, whenever something happens or a source says something about it, Aaron, I'll send it to AJ, and the exact response that you just gave is what I like that all the people around him are like, who the fuck thinks this is... You all want to know who thinks they know what's going on, because I don't think any of you actually do. Like, I don't think AJ has a clue what's going to happen. I don't think Bach has a clue what's going to happen. I don't think his representation has a clue what's going to happen. I think Aaron is legitimately the only one that's going through the process of figuring out what he's going to do. So whenever reports happen, I don't want to say I try AJ, but AJ has the same. I'm like, oh, somebody else fucking knows the inside scoop. AJ, what's the deal? And he's like, I want to know who that is. Who thinks that they have enough confidence in what Aaron Rodgers is going to do to say that publicly? So you saying that again really is hysterical to me, and I'm excited to see the journey of how he makes that decision. It could be in that room right there with you. Could be in there.
I will say one thing about him is he's extremely calculated. I think that's why I always laugh when I see reports and stuff come out. Like, they're trying to be the first person to say what he was thinking. This is a guy who, like, he's always almost prided himself on this like monk type philosophy of he's gonna he'd rather listen double his amount of listening over than just like talking too much. He wants to really make sure and calculate exactly what he's gonna say or his action that he's gonna do. So I don't think he's just like, he takes a lot of time before he makes really his decisions. He's very calculated. So that's why when I hear these things come out kind of out of left field, I'm like, I mean, that's just such. I don't even want to use the words. It's bullshit.
Yeah, well, that's a good word to describe it. It feels like the more of that is happening in the world that we live in right now, including the whole Tom Brady maybe retiring. He is retiring. He's not retiring. He's now retired. It's a crazy time to be alive, Buck. We're lucky you're joining us here. Ty Schmidt has a question.
David, hopefully you get well soon. Obviously missed you quite a bit this year. Outside of the rehab, like, is there anything you can do, whether it's like, talking with the guys who are going to have to try to replace you or watching film? Like, is there anything you could do to get better so this doesn't feel like just a lost year in like the prime of your career?
Juan, what is exactly the question you're saying?
Did you do anything? Were you
outside
around?
of the rehab.
Were you around?
Like, did I learn anything like from this year, like taking it off, other than obviously not playing?
Definitely.
That's the question you're asking?
And did you do anything this year to kind of like that wouldn't normally, were you coaching at all? Were you watching film? Was there anything else that you added alongside the rehab? I think. I'm not 100%.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely pushed me. I think the biggest thing that from this experience I grew from was not only personally like just patience, but being able to articulate certain techniques and movements, because normally I'm a big visual learner. I love to also express through my actions of like, hey, this is how I want it to look. This is what I want done. So at certain points in the rehab process, I wasn't even really able to like get in certain stances or do certain movements. So to articulate that to Yash, the other tackles, Elton, that was definite like growing experience for me for sure. But yeah, other than that, I mean, yeah, I really had to take a kind of a backseat, watch film, give the guys tips that I see, and it really helped express how I look at the game and try to have them see the game how I also see the game to help elevate them. Because I think this is a really service level point for most football players, especially like talking about offensive linemen. A lot of guys see the game in very narrow vision. And I think when you really, and how I was taught from, and I'll give credit to like the older guys in my room, like Josh Sitton and TJ Lang, Brian Balaga, they helped me see the game, open up your filter so it's wide open. So you're looking at everything, not just I'm a tackle, this is what I need to do. And the age-old philosophy that all tackles say, tackles block ends and occasionally outside linebackers.
How did they open up your vision? How did they get that point across? Or how did you learn that?
A big thing is understanding, one, don't lock in on just your job. Understand the entire concept, whether it's a pass protection or a run game. So start thinking like a center. And I think what the center mechanics need to go through. Understand defensive adjustments, blitzes, alignments. I mean, to the point where like when I play, when I'm in the huddle, I don't even look at Aaron. I use one ear. I listen to whatever the play call is, and I get enough of seeing them, so I don't really need to look at them anymore. But I like to just always stare at the defense, and I can just look at their communication. And when you've mastered like your play call, your sack count, everything. So it's really just kind of a reminder of what's going on. for our play, I can really start diagnosing exactly what they're going to do. Because at the end of the day, it's more the adjustments that the defense is going to present you. And if you can stop any way that they're trying to blow up the play, you're going to make yourself extremely successful. So it's this whole idea of working smarter, not harder, and really seeing everything. And that I think when you get to this level, when you're playing against the best of the best, both of you guys know this, playing the NFL, the margin for error is so small, and the difference between a good player and a great player isn't that big. It's just maximizing all the little details.
Do you think that is why as soon as you came back for Detroit, it was just like, I mean, right down, not that the offense wasn't like that with Aaron, but it's not just your physical ability as well. I assume you're having conversation with the guard about what you're seeing and what's going on, and that helps everybody down the line. It's an entire lifted thing. Is that why the O-line is normally the tightest group, you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's the only group that's judged as a collective unit. A wide receiver usually, no one's talking about the wide receiver room. So if one guy's successful, we're all successful. It's really, one guy can catapult that singular room, same quarterback. I mean, there's a lot of positions for us. It's when you talk about offense lines, it's usually like the unit. How's the unit playing the whole year? Occasionally you'll get a singular guy, but at the end of the day, we are about the five. And it is, at the end of the day, the most important thing is making sure you're not the weakest link and making sure all five chains are strong. Because when you have a strong offensive line, that's the foundation of football. I mean, that's what they say. People who love football love snappers, holders, kickers, and trenches.
There you go. Yeah, bingo. That's what I've been saying this entire time, Bakhtiari. High football IQ people.
Yeah.
That's what they've been saying. I agree completely. That's why the Super Bowl matchup is so interesting, because Joey Burrow, is it him holding on to the ball too long? Is it a mixture of great pass rush? They got Aaron Donald and the boys over there. I mean, that is – the offensive line matters when it matters. That is basically all the conversations leading up to everything about the glitz and the glamour and this and that and the run game and the pass game. It matters in the end who are the big dogs in front. It always is going to be the case. It's always going to be the situation. And you guys never get talked about because none of you want to be talked about, which is very fascinating as well. Go ahead, Tone.
David, have you had a chance yet to clip the film of Trent Williams going in motion, full head of speed to clear guys out and sent that to LaFleur yet?
Smart.
No, I haven't. I did see that on Twitter, and I thought that was awesome. He's a freak, dude. I mean, good dude. I've met him. I've got a chance to know him. I got nothing but respect for him. Really appreciate how he approaches and attacks the game. And I mean, he's a rare breed. I would love to do that. But I think at first I need to make sure I can get back in my position and do what I do, and then I can really start asking for the ball and get the touchdown that Aaron owes me and go in motion.
Yeah. How many beers we chugging this off season, huh? How many beers? We going to any Bucks games? We chugging beers?
I may or may not have brought a case or two of Spotted Cow back to California to enjoy. And beers will be had.
I have a couple Spotted Cows back there in California.
What?
Work on your knee.
What?
60 cc's in the knee, 12 ounce in me. What? Hey, we appreciate you, man. Have a great rehab.
No, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. And then, by the way, if Aaron, I don't know how he is in the offseason with this whole thing, but Aaron Rodgers Tuesday is in season. Maybe David Bakhtiari Tuesday's off season. I don't know. You can throw some I feel like we get a lot of shade kind of going my way. I don't really get a chance to kind of back myself up. And I told him once I can get in front of the camera, there will be some quips and responses going back in his end.
Some receipts.
This whole giraffe thing I think is getting a little bit blown out of proportion, and I think having this limelight and these conversations on Tuesday get to go to his head a little bit. And I'm kind of the butt end of the joke, so.
Okay.
I think it might be time I kind of have my way back. With
all right, receipts. Hey,
for thought.
Yeah,
throw it out
anytime.
there. Let me know. If not, throw right back. We're cool.
Hey,
it's good.
Receipts are always cash, pal. You do whatever you got to do. There is a lot of things said about you. I mean, normally glowingly. I thought the draft was a compliment. You think no? That's because you got an awkwardly long neck, or what? What is? Is that why he calls you the draft?
No, I really think what it is I have an extremely high cut body where I'm all legs and I pretty much no torso. I mean, I know I have the longest legs on the team, and I'm definitely not the tallest person. So I think he enjoys seeing me kind of hop around, and I don't know, it just kind of came on the top of his mind, and now I'm just like, I get blown up with all these just Twitters of just like the emoji of a giraffe. I'm like, God damn,
Dude.
Yeah, well, at least he appreciates, I think, at the end of the day, how important you are. And I assume all Green Bay Packer Nation, go Pack Go, realize that this year. Can't wait to see you back on the field and back on this show. Ladies and gentlemen, all pro left tackle for the Packers, David Bakhtiari. Thank you, buddy. Hey! Thank you, man. That had to be a miserable year.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. I read something. I read an interview he did with some guy like before he came on today that I think he did about 5-6 days ago. Yeah, it was a process. It sounded like.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't talk about that all season because all we were talking about, like, hey, it'd be great to get Bakhtiari back that was the only conversation. And I feel like we have spotlighted, like, Rehab is a miserable. Everybody here is like, oh, he got surgery, he'll be back for the season. But what you don't see is the absolute miserable experience that is teaching your bones and body how to walk or work again. And trainers and physical therapists and everybody in the medical staff deserves a lot more love, but the players as well, because they're putting themselves through so much pain to get back healthy. So whenever you see guys get hurt and maybe get hurt again and they come back, it's like, there's been a lot of sacrifice, mate. They're professional athletes. Fucking figure it out. I get that. But that had to be a long, miserable year for old Bakhtiari. It was great to have him on.
Yeah, of course. It was great. I know he was happy to come on, but it also had to be harder for him in the moment too, because he was getting to the point many times where people are like, okay, you're good. You're good to go now, right? You're going to come back and play. Like everyone on the outside felt like, I'm not saying the team, but fans and everyone that loved the Packers said, yeah, he's going to be able to do this, right? Yeah. And then his knee just never figured it out.
Hey, why is his knee not doing? Like, what's that all about? That is.
Well, he said he got a cleanup back in like November, right, or something. And then I don't know why it's holding all that fluid. I guess he acts like he should be fine moving forward. He just needed longer, I guess, to rehab everything.
Well, the knee shouldn't just continue to swell up to 60 cc 12 months.
That's what I think was tough. He didn't know what was going on. Like, they can't figure out, okay, why is this happening? Like, why am I not feeling as good as I should?
I love that you asked him, did you get your knee drained 15 times in one season? Or is that, because that's a process too. They cut a hole in your knee and pull that thing. I mean, it's a whole that everybody sees it in semi-pro, when Monix, and that lady who's married drains his knee on the couch. It is much different in 2022 than it was for the tropics in Flint, Michigan. That's an entire procedure where they cut a hole in you. They pull it out like with like syringe type things, they kind of dump it out there. And there's a fear that it can actually lock up your knee. You ever have that happen?
I haven't had it lock my knee up, but no, I've had it drained, yeah.
I've had it drained numerous times. I had it lock my knee up one time post-drainage, and they were like, that's probably going to be 10, 15 minutes or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, like my shit is locked up. I couldn't move it. It was because
like fully extended?
Yeah, I think it was because of like a vacuum effect that happened, like something like took place in there, and it was like, I couldn't drive because my leg was locked up or whatever the case is. But how much better does your knee feel after they drain it? So that pressure relief is so nice. There was probably 5 to 6 legitimate times he got his knee drained. His knee probably felt brand new. He was walking around out of that medical office into the facility. Oh, yeah, this thing's drained. And then all of a sudden, probably 24 hours later, it's boom, all the way back. Damn. Those ebbs and flows had to be tough to manage emotionally.
So can you play on a freshly drained knee?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
People do it. People get drained day of game. Not as. Oh, wow. It all depends on what the injury is, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that is what was so disappointing is like after that, it was like probably week 13 or 14 is when the insiders started leaking out like, oh, yeah, Bakhtiari is going to be back late December for the postseason run. So at that point, you're thinking like, okay, he tore his ACL. He's been out the whole season so far. Like, he probably is going to be good as new or as close to it when he does come back. And then, they kind of dangle the carrot with him playing in the Lions game, and you have no idea. And they obviously played it down big time. Hey, it wasn't a big deal. We just wanted to see him out there. But it clearly was a much bigger deal than anyone realized.
Yeah, I think so, too. And it's like he had – like, is it still swollen? We should have asked.
I don't know. I'm sure if he goes and he does a bunch of stuff on it, it'll swell up again.
Yeah, but it shouldn't do that forever. Like, that's not something that should happen. I assume they thought in the reports to the insiders were he should be back at some. This should not continue to happen for as long as it's been happening. Let's assume it'll end at some point. That'd be majorly frustrating, but hey, he'll get better and stronger from it next year. Hell yeah. Hour 3's on the other side. Adam Vinatieri will join us to chat about life, Tom Brady, and his son going to UMass. See you in 6. Cheers. So today, flying down to Nashville, doing a podcast with the boy. Hey, let's
then obviously get smacked down tonight. I'll probably talk some shit to the crowd. Then we'll fly back home, watch divisional round weekend. Let's have a day. Thank you, Bloomberg, for the article. It was really nice spending 50 minutes with that guy.
Is that all?
I mean, I expected a little bit more out of that article, but listen, these macaques are fucking incredibly intelligent, and they are ruthless individuals.
Should be your mama.
Yakai had a crew for her coup to get to the top. Ain't nobody gonna come topple her after what they saw her just do. She just took out her fucking mom, dude.
Someone from the nature reserve saying, "Hey, look, we're gonna have to go fucking put a bullet in you Kai's head. We can't have these monkeys going ape shit."
Yakai.
Can you imagine if the other macaques get wind of this? There might be 2,000 macaques heading to this nature reserve.
Here we go! And this sports show shall begin right now. Yeah. Yakai said, "Fuck you, Mom," then takes out 4, 3, 2, inevitably 1. Get the fuck out of here. Have the greatest weekend of your life. Be a friend, tell a friend that Monday shit's gonna be bananas. That felt pretty good. See you all. Bye.
Hey, this is a Betty White challenge. Every one of these particular hot dogs that is sold today, the proceeds will be donated to further brand. Betty White loved animals. Bunch of hot dogs for the dogs.
Make sure you tell the boy that we said if someone doesn't sign the boy in the next 2 weeks, the boy is always welcome in New England. Okay?
And Pittsburgh.
Always.
Yeah, I'm in my element, flow is like water, I'm forced through the fire, I'm feeling like gold. Gotta stay grounded, stay down to earth, following God, and you grinding, you do as you told. I don't work to make you like me, but I'm front and center, word to Spike Lee. And God came in the nick of time, they think I'm crazy, but I might be. Let's run it up, run it up, run.
Welcome. Good to fucking meet you in person.
Hey, teeth are whiter in person.
Hey, I'm fired up. Let's go, Pat.
Let's go. Look at you, dude.
Did you see that posting? Pat McAfee is on Bussin' with the Boys. You're kind of like a bucket list guest. When we started this thing, we're sitting on this bus, like Bussin' with the Boys. Podcasting isn't in my mind unless I'm listening to your shit. You have a small part in that influence of all of this happening. It's cool as fuck that you're sitting here.
AJ Hawk, AJ Hawk, AJ Hawk. I mean, I'm gonna be late.
Do your SmackDown, bro.
When just like the macaque monkeys, the top of the pyramid can be shifted. Is there any singular honor is better than that and you say stupendous, you better give it the proper accolades. I've been Googling, I've been searching. What is the proper definition of stupendous? Is that a dictionary? You're damn right, they still exist. Amazing, astounding, marvelous, astonishing, phenomenal, breathtaking, smashing, superb, fabulous, fantastic, tremendous, wondrous, monumental, mind-blowing, terrific, radical, colossal, dynamite, staggering. All of those words are the definition for one word, and that is stupendous.
And social media?
You read
also
it.
Monday night.
The breathtaking, record-breaking, head of the table that runs the #1 show in sports entertainment. Everybody in here is Humorous Brady. Humorous Brady. Humorous Brady. Except for one stupid person. Thank the heavens for this jackass showing up.
Oh my God, no!
Did Sammy poop his pants?
That's just like that fucking boomer size level.
Someday.
Someday. Yeah. We'll get there.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. Hour 3 on this. Tom Brady has officially retired Tuesday, February 1st, 2022. This show shall begin now.
Yeah.
You guys are the best. AJ Hawk to my left, your right. I got something in my.
Oh, no.
Are you kidding me right now?
Oh,
What are
no.
eyelashes for, AJ? The fuck?
That's
You guys
not-
sleeping on job?
Is this a bug? What is it?
His eyelashes fucking not blue collar, dude.
Could have been some of that rubble falling from the ceiling.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I try to be as professional as possible. I thought I was losing my right eyeball right there. I don't know what that was. That was insane. Anyways, my left, your right. What are these eyelashes doing? You motherfuckers are supposed to be in there protecting this thing.
Wake up.
Golly.
Get fake ones.
I've seen
It's
some
a
on
thing.
I've seen some on the internet where they go up over the eyebrows.
Oh, yeah.
So they should get the fake eyebrows too. So it's like a double layered thing. It's like a Windsor tie. You know what I mean? If you get them both on top of there. I just need mine to work. That was unbelievable. I thought I lost my vision in my right eyeball. I thought something was attacking me in my right
Scary.
eye. I still think it's in there. I think it's Dahn deep in it though. So that'll be something later. Maybe it's a piece of grit. Because this gritty show continues. All right? Here on this Tuesday, February 1st. Adam Vinatieri will be joining us in a couple moments. AJ Hawk to my left, your right. The Toxic Table at Ty Schmidt and at Boston Connor are here. Connor, obviously, happy day. Tom Brady retired.
Yeah, congratulations, everybody. We did it.
You don't have to see him in another uniform anymore.
Thank God.
Thank God he doesn't have to win any other Super Bowls anywhere else.
That's goddamn right.
He doesn't have to potentially have a 28-3 moment with another team, so then New England is literally forgotten about.
Unbelievable, I know.
Happy retirement.
Happy retirement.
Happy
guys.
retirement.
And we
And
got Mac Jones.
What?
Mac Jones might be the next one, but he's also in the same conference as fucking Joey fucking Burrow, dude. Don't you ever forget it. Tone Diggs is here, one half of the Hammer. Dahn, Cowboys, and Josh Allen, and Patty Mahomes. It's a tough AFC, but it's always tough. This is the NFL. What Tom has done has been nothing short of impressive. Speaking of the NFL, let's talk about ratings, shall we, AJ?
Yeah, please do. I don't know about this.
Okay, so the AFC matchup between the Chiefs and the Bengals peaked at 60 million viewers. Okay? 60.9, so let's just call that a 61 million viewers. They averaged 47.85 million. You got to remember, that was a 3-score game early in that thing. They averaged 48 million people watching while it was a complete blowout. And I would assume that 60 million was the last quarter. Hey, holy shit, is Joey Burrow and the Bengals about to do what they did? Anyways, peaked at 61 million. That is so many millions. And then the 49ers-Rams game averaged 50.42 million, peaking at 55.21 million. This is via Ari Mirov at My Sports Update, Pro Football Focus. The NFL is King Kong in the business game of the media platforms. They are crushing it. Numbers are only going up. Obviously, the Super Bowl will have multiple hundreds of millions of people watching worldwide. That means the valuation of every team has to be going through the goddamn roof at the moment. And there is now officially a team up for sale. The Denver Broncos have announced that they are taking offers and they are up for sale. First NFL team in a long time that has been completely up for sale. There's new money in the world in the tech industry in which people literally shit out billions of dollars.
Yeah.
They eat and shit billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Billions are so much money. It is so many millions, and millions are so much money. There is so much fugazi money out there, real money out there, whatever the case by people. And there's going to be a lot of people wanting to get into business with the people that are spiking at 60.1 million during a game that was in the afternoon that was a complete blowout, and people with other audiences that are needed are only going down. They're only going up. This is insane. Ian Rappaport says it's going to be 4 billion something. If that was 20 billion. Would we be surprised? I don't think I'd be surprised at all. I don't think, AJ.
Does this, are the numbers for the viewership, is it going to plateau at some point, or we just continue to go up and up every year?
And what does it mean? You know?
Yeah. What does it mean?
What does it mean?
How do they track it? How do they track if a game's on at a bar and there's 800 people there? Like, how do they do all of that?
Well, and also
streaming, illegal streaming.
There is a litany of excuses on all these numbers might be fugazi. This might be bullshit, but they're all judged, I think, by the same ones. So
we know they're more than all the other stuff, everything else on there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're all wrong, you're all right, right? And if they're all wrong the exact same way, then we can judge them accordingly. It's only if some people are self-reporting numbers and others have third-party people reporting numbers, and then there's a spin on impressions and numbers, and then there's, all the other things you're talking about. Numbers are hilarious whenever they are told and explained on the internet because you have no idea how that number is got to. It's just like a given back in the day. Oh, they had 700 million viewers. And everybody's like, wow, that's really good.
Okay.
Oh, who said it? Well, Nielsen said it. Well, what does Nielsen do? Well, they actually tap into the black boxes, like one for every 1,000 homes and see what they're watching. And then they have an algorithm that puts together how many homes probably have it with the entire black box situation. And that's how they decide when and who is watching. It's like, well, what if that one person is an anomaly? And what if the other 999 are doing something and that happens on a regular? They figured it out. Oh, okay. Well, we just trust them.
Congrats.
Okay.
There we go.
That makes sense. But if they're all being judged by the exact same, the NFL is only getting more expensive, it feels like. And the Denver Broncos are now officially for sale. So congrats to whatever big pocket having, whoever it is, gets into the NFL. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome, Jeff Bezos, to the Denver Broncos.
Welcome to all the teams he could buy.
Yeah.
He could buy all
the whole league. Just buy the league, Jeff.
He'd buy the whole team, every single team, turn it into the XFL like you're Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
You're the head coach of every squad. It's just different practice squads basically every day. Jeff Bezos could do that with his money that he made last quarter.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Why wouldn't he though? Like if Amazon's getting and why doesn't he just say fuck $4 billion, I don't want to bid for that. I'll give you $10 billion and I'm going to take the Broncos. Why doesn't he do that? It's a drop in the bucket. He'll never see it. If he doesn't want to run it and wants to just keep going to space, he can do that.
And sit on yachts all yoked up.
Yeah, exactly.
Shredded.
Maybe it will be Bezos. Maybe it'll be somebody else. Peyton Manning is a part of two different investment firms. There's groups, I guess, that have bundled money for ownership groups. Venture capitalist folks, I think, are getting involved. Business folks are getting involved. Peyton and John Elway are in two different groups who are all bidding to potentially get the rights. I don't know how much bidding there would be if some came, say, hey, by the way, this is what we're doing. And I'm building a dome over the entire city, actually. It's going to be called the Bronco Dome. That's going to cost another $30 billion, but who gives a fuck?
Don't matter.
It's unbelievable to think about. The business must be good. Speaking of business must be good, AJ Vinatieri said, I'm going to the University of Massachusetts.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to ZooMass.
Go Minutemen.
I'm going to Dude Mass.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to go be a Minuteman. I'm going to be a scholarship punter for UMass. And I got a chance to run into his dad and he last night at the reveal of that decision being made. And I thought to myself, I miss this man in my life on a regular basis. We got a chance to chat in the restaurant, catch up a little bit. And then this morning we wake up, Tom Brady's retired. It's like, hey, feels like we have the perfect human to come on and chat about all things happening in the world of sport right now. Ladies and gentlemen, first ballot Hall of Famer, all-time leading scorer in NFL history, Adam Vinatieri.
Yay!
Thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, great seeing you 2 days in a row. How about this? This is awesome.
Yeah, great. Hey, man, all I want to do is apologize a little bit. The high school kids bombarded the piss out of you last night. Had to take a bunch of pictures. I apologize.
Don't worry about it. That's a completely cool. I was lucky to be there, excited to be there. I'm so happy for your kid, AJ. Let's talk about that real quick before we dive into Tom Brady's retirement and everything else you have going on. He went to UMass. And I think the thing that I love most about it, he's making his decision. He had offers from LSU, South Dakota State. I think there was a couple others that made offers for him to be a punter at their school. I think from learning from talking to you last night, he was pissed off if anybody thought that he was going to maybe use his daddy's money or his daddy's name to do anything. I think he legitimately wanted to prove himself. And I think that's why he's going to UMass, because he wants to just go in there and start early, wants to play. I love his work ethic. I fucking love that dude. You have to be incredibly proud of AJ, and you got to be pumped for the whole situation.
No, I definitely am. He's busted his butt the last couple of years trying to get himself in the right situation where he could potentially earn himself a scholarship. And little did I know, it's been a long time since I was in college. I didn't know how the scholarship Power 5 school stuff worked. He spent a lot of time going to some of these big schools and got a lot of PWO, preferred walk-on offers from them. I think he got 7 or 8 different scholarship opportunities. But when we went out to UMass, he went out there. He liked the facilities, liked the fact that Coach Brown's back there now, and they're going to turn that organization around. They're in an independent league still, so they kind of pick and choose who they play, but a lot of big stadiums. End of the year, they're playing at Texas A&M, so that should be – he should punt a lot, maybe, probably. He didn't say that out loud, but he was super excited. I mean, like, he was just a giddy kid thinking – and you're absolutely right. He said, Dad, scholarships aren't the end of the world, but for me, it shows me that they want me, and I've worked my butt off to get that. And at the end of the day, UMass was the perfect situation. He's getting a great opportunity to step right in there and compete for the starting job right away, and that was important to him too. I told him, I said, there's worse things than redshirting and sitting behind somebody for a year and learning and getting used to the organization and the campus and all that. But he was adamant about wanting to step out there and play right away. So looks like I'll be traveling a lot this year.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch. Uncle Pat didn't redshirt either. He knows. And there's some learning curve that comes to that too. And I think mentally he'll be ready to fucking go through it all. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, no, he's planning on joining the business school there, and that's always a little bit of a challenge. They've got a pretty tough curriculum out there. So I told him, I said, man, make sure if they're offering tutors, just let them help you out. Don't have school be such a stressor that it affects you on the field. I said, put in all the time that you need to make sure you can, when you're on the field, be focusing on football, and when you're off the field, be focusing on school, and you'll be fine.
Hey, that's good business, by the way. Go ahead, AJ.
That's smart. Yeah, Vinny, quick. I want to know what's it like watching your son kick? I can imagine. Are you more nervous watching him than when you were out there doing it? I put myself in those shoes as a parent. I don't want my kid anywhere near a football field as the kicker, just strictly because I think I'd have a heart attack and I would fight all the fans every time he missed a kick.
Right. You're absolutely right. I tell you, obviously when we're out on the field, I trust myself, and he's done a great job. He's worked his butt off, but sure, when he goes out there for a game winner at the end of the game, or a very pivotal point of the game, I get butterflies. I'm sitting there, come on, kid, let's make this thing, I'm 100% nervous about it and excited about it, and it's a lot of fun. I can't believe I've got a kid that's already heading off to college, but it's exciting, and I'll probably be that dude up in the crowd with a UMass, whatever number he's going to be, jersey. If anybody talks any shit, then they're going to have to deal with me probably. Hey man, out in Massachusetts, they got that nickname "Masshole" for a reason. You know what I mean? So I guess I'm going to be one of those too.
Hey, that's a perfect pivot, actually. You spent a lot of time being a masshole, obviously with New England, teammates with Tom Brady. We've learned more and more about Tom these last couple years, and you've always spoke glowingly about him, and I believe he's done the same about you. What was your relationship like, and are you surprised at all that he's hanging it up on a Tuesday via social media post? I think we all kind of expected this day to be differently, but that's like the humility of Tom Brady is what some people are saying.
Yeah, Tom's such a great guy. I mean, everybody knows all the stuff that he's done on the field, his competitive nature, his, all that stuff. But he's just a great guy too. And I think him being a 6th-round draft choice, starting off and having to work his way to becoming who he is, made him a very hardworking, humble guy, and that's never changed. I mean, he's as good now as he ever was. I can't say enough good stuff about the man. He's such a great worker. He's a great friend. A little surprised. I mean, obviously he can still play. I think he could play another year or two. But when your kids and your family get a little bit older and you want to spend a little more time, and the one thing about Tom, what does he have to prove? Absolutely nothing at this point. He holds damn near every record that there ever is and will be, and he probably will hold them for a very, very long time. So it's one of those things. I think it's probably a very tough decision, and you probably had to think about it for a long time because, him, like some of us, he's played such a long time that, life without football is going to be substantially different, even though I'm sure he'll have a role in it some way, shape, or another. You look at a guy like Peyton, he was done playing, but you see his mug on TV as much now as you ever did when he was. Brady might be the same way. You never know.
Hey, what was it like when you're kicking with Bill Belichick as the head coach? You ever feel like he's just peering over your shoulder and making you nervous? Like, hey, man, I cannot miss anything.
Well, for sure. I think honestly, the bigger stress even above Bill Belichick was probably Bill Parcells. My rookie year, I come in. He's the head coach, and he notoriously hated rookie kickers, and he would always try to do some crazy stuff. He'd put the little whammy on the ground in front of me, or he'd stand in my way for my steps, or he would purposely distract things. I remember one time in training camp, he's like, "All right, fellas, everybody, Vinatieri, get out there, 52-yard field goal. You make it, no conditioning today. You miss it, we're doing double conditioning." And every single guy on my team's like, "Bro, you better make this. I'm going to rip your arms off." So, they put a little extra pressure on you. Thank God I made it that day. I think I gained an extra friend or two on the team my rookie year that time. But, yeah, I honestly think, and I know Pat and I, we've talked about it 100 times, when you practice, you go out there and put as much pressure, as much stress as you can during practice. I know Tom McMahon used to throw bags, across our faces when we're kicking as a distraction and stuff like that. I think if you can practice at a high intensity when you step on the field, game time feels the same, and then you can really just focus in on your job and kind of tunnel vision in, and it's not as big of a deal. But I think some of the best coaches definitely, punting and kicking is about 85% mental. So if you can put that extra stress on your guys and they can succeed, you got a good one.
Yeah, and everybody hears me talk about the indoor facility in Cincinnati being lacking or whatever, and I think people automatically assume that I just only worked inside or whatever. It was like, you forced me not to. Like, that was, if it's snowing today, we're going to go out and kick in the snow. If it's raining, we're going to go out. This is a rep that we can get out there. It was miserable some days, and I would much rather be inside, but there wasn't any room there. That's for the extra work, and those practice reps that you used to take, you were genuinely pissed we missed in practice. And that changed how I practice, by the way. I want to let you know, like, me getting to watch you practice changed how I practice. And there was times where you're already certified Hall of Famer at this point. Maybe even when we were having the perfect season run there, we were going, you weren't missing in practice either. A lot of people think like just in the games, you were perfect that entire year until we missed the one in Tennessee. Bad laces, wind was tough. That's probably operational error, but it's on you for the record, and that sucks, obviously, to be a part of there. But I think you weren't missing in practice either, though. And then you'd miss in practice, and it was like, goddamn, we just lost the Super Bowl almost. That type of mental, being able to get in there is something that I don't think a lot of people could do, and I was very lucky to watch you do that, and I think that helped me out immensely. This kid in Cincinnati, Evan McPherson, dude, he's got it. Hey, he's fucking got it. He's so young, too. Normally, it takes a little bit to get it, but it feels like mentally he is in practice. It's game reps, and then in games, it's just, hey, we're just doing the same shit we're doing in practice here. He's very talented right now. Have you seen him?
I've been very, very impressed with him. Little bit of history. I know Shane Graham, who was the coach down in Florida when he was there. Shane and I have discussed a little bit about him, and he's just like, he's the real deal. Physically gifted. Got a cannon of a leg, but mentally he's really, really tuned in too. Anybody can miss a kick. I get that, but this guy just seems like he walks out there, nothing bothers him. He's just super focused, and damn, he just puts him right down the middle of the pipe. It doesn't matter what the distance or what the situation in the game is. 12 for 12 on kicks in the playoffs. Damn, that's really. That's super impressive. No matter if it's your 15th year in the league, but doing that as a rookie, that's awesome.
He's coming after your records too. I don't know. He saw this ball and he's coming after you. That's obviously a sign of respect, but he's got a lot of Vinny fuck you in him too, which I like.
I like that. You know what? I think the best ones honestly have a little chip on their shoulder, or a little swag, or a little fuck you in him, whatever. So I really like that about him. I think he's going to be super good for a long time. Now the ongoing discussion is going to be, is it him or is it Tucker or this or that? I just get to sit back and watch and laugh.
Yeah, and then they get whenever you go into the Hall of Fame, then the conversation will be who's the next to go in there, because that AFC North, by the way, they got Boswell who's hitting the shit out of the ball right now. There's a lot of guys out there. And before the boys have a question for you, Vinny, we can't thank you enough for your time here. What do you think it is when you would go out for those kicks? What do you think it is about being cool and calm? Because you're legitimately there's an argument to be said, the most clutch athlete in the history of sports. And I understand that there's other people who have clutch moments and clutch situations, but if you just go back and look at like stats and percentages and the amount of opportunities you had and you came through for people, it's just, the conversation can be had. So you won't say it, I'll say it, everybody else can fuck off. But in those moments, are you super relaxed and casual? Is it just like practice? Like, what do you think goes through your head in those moments that you have so much success? Because this is something I assume a lot of people would like to know and hear about.
Well, I don't think I'm relaxed. I don't think that's the right term. I'm laser focused. If by Chuck Pagano, laser focused.
Hey, how's your family? How's your family?
But I honestly think, you just try to block out the external things. I know you and I have talked about it a million times. I know you at times would like to jaw to the guys on the other side and have a conversation with them. And you're looking at me like, man, this guy's looking through me kind of thing. And I guess just for me, it's just such, it's like a golf swing, right? And I know you guys got a little bet going. I can't wait to see who wins that golf bet. That's going to be awesome.
It's going to be me, Vinny. Thank you. You know it. All right. Yeah, Vinny knows. He watched me learn.
It's like that, the more repetitions and the more you can make it look identical every single time is kind of the key. And then with repetition builds confidence. And then once you get to the point where you don't even have to think anymore, your body just takes over. I think that's kind of when you can really just focus in. AJ, I wish I played a position. I was on the field for 50 or 60 plays because you could have a bad one or something happens and you go, you know what, that's just one play. But you're on an island when you're punting and kicking and you have to be spot on every time. And I don't know. I look at it this way too. Like I've always enjoyed being in a position in sports that's in the center of everything. Soccer, center midfield. Why? Because I wanted to be around the ball the whole time, caught in baseball and just because I wanted to have the ball either in my hand or at my foot.
Quarterback in high school.
High school, exactly right. So I think some guys like that. I think other guys don't. I mean, I remember Jeff Saturday always saying, man, I wish I was a kicker every single day except for Sunday. I don't need that pressure. I don't want to do it on Sunday. But every other day I wish it was me. So, you have to, I guess as a kicker, you have to embrace that and accept that and be okay with that. Because if you're not, you better find a different job. Because if you can't handle the pressure, and it seems like like this last weekend, every game came down to a kick. I mean, dang, kickers. They deserve every penny they get. That's for sure.
You're right, especially now with the 33-yard extra points, but it always comes down to the kick when it matters. And I said this about the offensive line last hour with Bakhtiari. It's like in the biggest game, the offensive line matters. Like when it matters, it matters. And that's the same thing with kicking, especially if you look through this entire playoffs. It's like you can downgrade it all year, and there's going to be guys that are going to miss. There's 32 teams. I think there's probably only like 10 NFL guys in each season. I think there's only like, you know what I mean? Like legit. And there might be some guys that aren't NFL guys that are NFL guys but aren't having an NFL like season. I think there's only like 10 dudes each year that are really like the guys. It's a tough thing to do. You doing it for 20 plus years is fucking unbelievable. Connor, go ahead, pal.
Yeah, Adam, reliving the early Patriot days when you were there and Tom Brady's man in the arena doc has been pretty sweet. Did he ask you to go on that? And also, how accurate was Mike Vrabel when he said that you guys just used to talk shit nonstop to each other every day?
The Vrabel comments, you're absolutely right. The amount of verbal jousting in that locker room was absolutely ridiculous. And it got to the point we had Vrabel was the king of it, but we had Rodney Harrison and a bunch of those guys. The fun thing is they would like to screw with us kickers a little bit, and then they realize when we're putting taping up their lockers or hanging voodoo dolls and stuff in their lockers and stuff, they're like, you know what, these guys have way too much free time. We better not fuck with them. Guys alone. But that locker room was something special. Willie McGinnis and some of those guys. I mean to tell you what, if you had thin skin, you'd get run right out of the building there. So it was crazy. What was the other part of the question about Brady?
Well, just why weren't you on Man in the Arena? I was kind of waiting for your episode at some point.
Me too, man. They didn't ask.
Hey, you and Castle both, dude. You and Castle both. You got highlighted in there a lot, though. It was cool to see young Vinny in there, and then the story behind those teams. Those kicks are going to be forever run on every highlight reel the NFL has for the next 1,000 years that the NFL is going to go, hey, Peyton Peyton's going to own the goddamn Broncos. You know that, but
It's going to be the Manning, the I don't know, the whole family's. I figured, Pat, with that new contract that you signed, you'd have at least a majority share in that too, wouldn't you?
Well, I'll tell you what. I guess there is some banks I could potentially go to with these big banks now. I got a down payment, I guess, for quite a loan. Hey, 60 million viewers for that afternoon game on Sunday. It's only the money's. I mean, the NFL business is good, dude. It ain't never slowing down. And I can't wait to see AJ in the goddamn league, and I'm going to follow him to that, whatever team he goes to, like I'm a Minutemen fan now.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go, Minutemen. Hey, go, men.
Here we go.
Let's go, men.
Minutes.
These fucking guys. Let's go, dude. All right, go ahead, Tone.
Vinny, Pat just talked about you taking them outside, kicking in different elements. We're supposed to get a foot of snow here in the next couple of days. Are you going to take AJ outside, maybe recreate your kick against the Raiders and maybe get some experience in the snow tomorrow?
I'm telling you, if his back's not too tired from fucking shoveling my driveway, he better start putting some work in, dang it. For as much as I've traveled all over this country, going buying flights and doing all this stuff, he's got to put a little work in first before he gets to go out and kick a ball around.
Howie, was it interesting? Was everybody in awe when they met you? I assume, like a lot of the football guys. Has it been nice to kind of get out there and see the rest of the football world?
You know, it was cool. I had a great time going around in small world. For instance, University of Miami, Mario Cristobal. I played with him in Amsterdam, right? And the Ohio State head coach, he's a Massachusetts guy. He was like, hey, I got to tell you a story where when you guys won that first Super Bowl, me and my brother or cousin, I don't remember, we were on our way down and we got stranded halfway down. So it was kind of cool because I got to fanboy some of these big stadiums and go, man, I can't believe, look at these things. This would be so incredible to play in a stadium like, going to the Big House in Michigan and watching them play. I was like, dude, I played in a lot of really awesome games, and this is badass. I couldn't imagine stepping out on the field in front of 110, 120,000 fans. I mean, that's just awesome. So it was a win-win because I got to meet a lot of people that my paths have crossed through the NFL and whatever, and then I got to kind of reap some of the rewards of being around some of those facilities, and it blows my mind. NCAA big time football money is incredible. The training rooms, I walked in and I was like, hey, do you guys have a flow tank? And they're like, yeah, we've got 3 of them over there. We've got 2 cryo tanks over here. I'm like, are you shitting me?
Yeah.
I mean, like anything and everything that you could imagine some of these big schools had. I was just like, it blew my mind.
Hey, they weren't profitable though. They weren't profitable though. No, they weren't profitable. NCAA. Go ahead, AJ.
Vinny, what about the name, image, and likeness stuff? Did you ask these coaches about it? Do you see how it's changing recruiting? Like, what's your son think?
I didn't ask too much about it because realistically, punters and kickers don't reap that reward too terribly much. I mean, if you're the 5-star quarterback at Alabama, that's the Heisman Trophy winner, you're going to see 6, 7, 8, whatever the heck it is, a lot of money. Some snot-nosed 18-year-old punter, probably not so much. Now, he might get a little bit since it's Massachusetts, but I think the NCAA, and with all due respect, I think there's a lot of things that are screwed up in the NCAA.
No, Vinny, you don't know.
I'm trying to be politically correct, but there's a lot of stuff that needs to be changed in there. If they want some of my opinion, have them give me a call, Pat. You can personally give them my number if they need some help fixing some of that stuff.
Oh, they don't listen to me either, pal. I burned this bridge a long time ago saying a lot of the stuff that you've said, and we can't thank you enough for joining us, man. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Vinny, when you played as long as you did and then you were done, you're in incredible shape right now. It looks like you just eat weights. Like, how long did it take you to, actually feel good again? I can't imagine how sore you are every day. I mean, Pat obviously had, the surgeries and everything in his knees. How long does it take until you actually just, feel normal again?
This is the new normal. I don't think I'm not sure I'll ever feel completely normal. My career-ending knee surgery, I can do my day-to-day stuff, and I can lift, I can do some stuff, but I feel it every day. So it's just one of those things. Hey, man, it's just part of the deal. I was tired of that COVID year. I sat around, I drank a little bit, and I got kind of fat, and I said, all right, I'm done with that shit. I'm going to get back in shape. So I got a nice gym at home. I work my butt off in there, and I got an 18-year-old kid that thinks he's tougher than me. And so that kind of motivates me and drives me a little bit to he's going to pass me, but it's not going to be for a little while still.
That's awesome. You two battling it out on the field and in the gym is amazing. I saw you snapping balls to him, just like hundreds and hundreds. I'm sure he will say thank you plenty of times, either in the future or now. But the scholarship's the first step. Let's keep it going, AJ. Yeah. Thank you for joining us, Vinny. Congrats to Tom Brady, obviously, and to you for enjoying the hell out of retirement. Ladies and gentlemen, first ballot Hall of Famer on the way, Adam Vinatieri. Thank you, Adam. All right, let's get to a break, shall we, here on this beautiful Tom Brady is officially retired, February 1st, 2022.
Oh, yeah.
Vinatieri, man, what a guy.
Vinny's jacked, man. Yeah. He's jacked.
I saw him last night. He had like joggers on. He had some sick Yeezys, I think, on. Always had. I mean, how's your family?
Yeah,
always is.
Yeah. Shoe game.
Always. And his sweatshirt on the top, I saw him. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, this dude.
Did he have the collar cut out real big like bodybuilders do?
No.
That'd be awesome.
That would have been, yeah. He is yoked up, though.
Yeah.
Shredded.
He's your first ballot Hall of Fame kicker. That's crazy, isn't it?
100%. He absolutely should be.
As a kicker, he is.
Has he ever missed a big kick? I don't remember him ever missing a clutch kick.
Okay, so there's one game, I think, that I recall. It was against the Chargers. He put one right, I think, but it went over the upright, and the ref didn't give it to him. But it was the far upright. He was kicking from left. It was the far upright, and it was a short one, and they didn't give it to him. But I think there was an argument to be had that did go in. And Vinny, by the way, I know a lot of people are like perfectionists, like ball end over end, and Vinatieri is also like that. But if that thing goes in on the right side of the upright or the left side of the upright, we ain't sweating it. That fucking is 3 points. Yeah. Let's move along. There's people that do that. So I'm not saying that he got screwed, but yeah, I remember one kick against the Chargers. I'm not sure, but the amount of hits he had.
Yeah. New England, he never did. And like Tony mentioned the Raiders kick, he had 2 in that blizzard.
45-yarder and like 30-something yarder. And then the Super Bowl was a 49-yarder, I think, on the right hash, and he almost puts that motherfucker over the net behind it. Just zero fear. I'm swinging away at this thing with everything on the line. I think that is so impressive. Like when you see McPherson hit these 50-yarders and he's crushing the ball, you dig a little deeper there and think about what all has to take place for him to allow himself just to absolutely crush. First of all, it has to be a great operation between Clark and Huber, and then it also has to be the utmost confidence that the ball is fucking going exactly where you want it to go. You're not trying to guide it. You're not trying to like half swing it, like full thing. It's so impressive. Vinny and McPherson they are very, very similar humans.
Yeah.
I believe. They are very, very similar humans. Tucker operates in a different fashion. He's a perfectionist the way he hits the ball. But I think McPherson and Vinny, very, very similar people.
He walked off that Titans game winner before it even went up to he was already celebrating.
And then they got the shootout. Yeah. All right, we're back in 4 minutes. We're going to answer some phone calls on the 5 Hour Energy phone line. Also, bounce around the NFL a little bit. Actually, there isn't really much to do. All right, see you in 4 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Coach Mike Tomlin.
Oh, man, Pat, it's an honor to be on with you, man. Thanks for having me.
You're a legend. Thank you for putting me through my workout and having the scouts actually come watch me kick at West Virginia. I don't think I've ever fully thanked you for that moment, Coach.
No, man. I've drank the McAfee Kool-Aid for a long time.
Let's get right into it. The locker room culture changed completely when I was in the league, from when I was a rookie to when I was done, and I retired after the 2016 season. Now it's even more different, I would assume, from when you came into Pittsburgh and everything like that. The dancing on the logo, the TikTok, everything like that you guys have had to experience. What is your messaging in there? How do you adapt and let players be themselves without, doing too much? Because that is a fine balance that you've been able to do, I think, in an incredible job with throughout your entire time in Pittsburgh.
I think for me, more than anything, I try to stay connected. Just getting a sense of where these guys are coming from, what's in vogue for their generation, what captures their attention, how do they learn, how do they communicate, how do they interact with each other formally and informally. And I think being a parent kind of helps me. My boys are 19 and 20, so it's not much difference between them and some of the younger guys that I deal with here. And so for me, it's just about gaining an understanding, working to stay connected. That's my general attitude, man. It's adapt or die for me. And I don't want to be one of them old crusty guys, man, that just refuses to adapt. Although I am one of those old crusty guys now.
Yeah, you are old as shit now. You know what I mean? I mean, you've been around a long time. I remember back in the day, whenever you showed up, there was a lot more, to the camera. There's a lot more.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that. Now you're just old ass man now, huh?
You know how it is. Years in this business will scar you, man. It'll settle you down.
That is classic. One of my favorite moments with you is when you would tell me every warm-up, I'm going to get you back to Pittsburgh when you're old and cheap. What's that mean? What did that mean? And should that have been taken as a smack in the mouth, like whenever you said that to me?
No, man, it was a tip of the cap, man. There's certain guys around this league that I'm really interested in, but I know I cannot afford. And you were one of them, so I was going to wait for you to physically deteriorate a little bit until you came back into my wheelhouse.
Yinzers are going to go bananas in Heinz Field this weekend. First time it could be filled up in a long time. I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to... Oh, mama, I'm in here. Oh, my life, Is that your alarm clock? Yeah, just say yes, by the way. Yeah.
It's my ringtone. It's my alarm clock.
We appreciate you, Coach T. Last question before we let you go. Why'd you let Troy Polamalu do what he fucking did to me? I know you've heard of this. Why? Well, that's a short side of the field. That's bad football. You guys coaching unsound football over there in Pittsburgh? How did that happen?
We know you and love you as a man. But on Sundays in the fall, man, you're the nameless gray faces that we...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, never had a losing season, absolute legend, two-time Super Bowl champion, Mike Tomlin.
Yeah!
Thank you, Coach.
Today's show is presented by Arby's. We're getting ready for the Superb Owl, and that means staying fueled up with all the high-quality meats from Arby's.
Yeah, dude.
Right now, on the 2 for $6 menu is my go-to, the classic beef and cheddar.
What?
The white cheddar mac and cheese.
What?
And the premium delicious 9-piece chicken nuggets. These are full-size sandwiches and meals you can find only at Arby's. They don't shrink them down to a junior size like you might find somewhere else. That's 2 full-sized Arby's meals for $6 daily, the best deal in the game. Go get yours today.
Hell yeah, thank you, Arby's. We have some developing news happening in a pretty large story out of New England. This morning, after Tom Brady released his 8-photo statement about retirement, he did not mention the Patriots or Bill Belichick or the Patriots Nation one time. There was then, obviously, a lot of controversy and conversation on the internet from massholes and New Englanders about how wrong that was. Then on an IG story, Tom Brady quoted a message from Robert Kraft and the Patriots and said, "Thank you, Pats Nation. Thank you, Patriots." While all this was happening, there was an initial report that the reason why he didn't thank the Patriots or the Patriots fans is because tomorrow at 10 a.m. in Patriot Place, he is going to be holding a press conference where he will retire on a one-day contract from the New England Patriots. That report was then disputed and cut down right at the knees. Now, there is another report coming out from Wes Goldberg of The Athletic at WC Goldberg. This is post somebody else's report getting sawed down.
Yes.
Now, this is a new report from The Athletic's Wes Goldberg. Tom Brady is planning to sign a one-day contract with the New England Patriots and retire with the franchise with which he played for 20 years. He spoke with Robert Kraft this morning and will fly to Massachusetts for a ceremony. Great wording there. We don't know when, we don't know how, but it feels as if he will retire a Patriot, and maybe that was why he didn't have it in the retirement speech. This was just, or the post, this was just to thank Tampa Bay, thank New England 2 years ago, and we have a full press conference coming that maybe he wanted to keep as a surprise. Not 100% sure, but this feels like this is happening, AJ. A lot of smoke, then some water, then more smoke, and now it feels like a fire. Okay?
Yeah. Do you think Bill Belichick will be sitting there at the table with him during the presser?
Yes.
Absolutely. It'll be. I mean, I think that'll be great. I'm sure they'll have great questions. I think it'll be awesome. I'm excited I hope it does happen.
I hope so too, just for the sake that we don't want to talk about the Pro Bowl this weekend.
Yeah, not at all. The Belichick stuff seemed like bullshit after the Buccaneers game, and they had that whole 20-minute meeting, and there's just a mutual respect in after.
I assume there was maybe some disagreements, and they wanted
Yeah.
to speak face to face as opposed to via text or over the phone. And they probably handled it all there. But if you watch Man in the Arena, a lot of respect from Tom to Bill in that thing.
Yeah.
A lot of respect to the entire Patriots organization, which is why maybe he wanted to thank just the Tampa folks because they never get brought up in the conversation or discussion of the Tom Brady story, even though he's won a Super Bowl down there. Who knows? We'll keep our eye on it, AJ, won't we? We'll keep our fucking eye on it.
Has Darlington said anything more about all this?
He did an entire essay on the career of Tom Brady, our ESPN essay. It seems like it was very well done.
Yeah, very well done. And I assume after this weekend, Tom Brady might have said, you know what, Darlington, we're going to put a muzzle on you for about a month now. You're not allowed to report anything about me anymore. And, going forward after, he can do all the breaking NFT, Brady brand type stuff, maybe,
Yeah.
Makes sense. A little timeout, maybe.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean,
I don't know about the Patriot stuff. I mean, because I showed you that one that Nesson wrote an article on saying it's fake this morning.
Does it change anything if he does or doesn't do this, though?
I think it just gives us more fodder.
Yeah, bingo.
Certainly gives us more fodder. But I honestly, maybe he does want to make all the potential narrative right now. Like, instead of having to do this over a rollout time with documentaries and Hall of Fame speeches and all that, we can nip this in the butt right now and have a joyful retirement together in which maybe we can even go into business together in numerous things. I don't know. I have no
I would
idea.
assume it makes a big deal difference to Pats fans, for sure.
Yeah,
on the internet, you're saying?
Everywhere.
To a lot of Pats fans, they would very much care.
Tom's not going to turn his back on him. Like, think about it. When Tom won the Super Bowl after being suspended, he didn't say anything to Goodell.
Yeah, I mean, he already left once, so
Tom's going to be classy. He's not going to trash New England.
Well, and it's also not only just good for his personal life, but probably for business as well to be on good terms with New England Patriots fans. And he probably has if you watch Man in the Arena, he obviously has a great respect for everything up there.
Yeah, and I mean, no matter what, the Patriots are going to have his number retired this upcoming season and all of
What
that.
if he says, I ain't going?
I'm not doing it.
Don't fucking retire.
I don't want you to do it.
Then
did you not see my post? 8 of them.
Yeah.
Not a word. Not a word about you, dude. There's no way that happens. He's going to get back in good graces. And that speech between Bill and Tom, will we see the robot have emotion? Will Bill Belichick have a little bit of emotion when talking about Tom and all the good times? Will there be that moment of Tom, saying thank you to Bill for everything that, he put in Man in the Arena and broadcasted to the world about how fucking intelligent Bill Belichick is as a football coach? I think that would be cool. I think that'd be good. But that tweet didn't have anything imminent. We got to watch how the words are,
Yeah.
He will fly to Massachusetts for a ceremony. Okay. May?
Right, yeah.
June?
Could be before a game or something.
It's really fucking cold right now, right? Isn't that a big reason? Isn't that a big thing?
2 feet of snow on the ground. And the last Man in the Arena isn't coming out till the spring, is what the director said. So
so this will be a part of it.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this will be a part of it. This will be a part of it.
Did he sell his sweet house there?
In Brookline, I believe so.
Oh, man, Brookline's a good place.
Oh, my God. Gorgeous.
There ain't
Is that where
bodies.
Hasselbeck lives, too?
Talk about a time.
Maybe that feels Brookline feels like a name of a place that Hasselbeck would live in. Yeah, it just feels
Absolutely.
That feels Hasselbecky. News in my ear: Tom Brady did sell his Brookline home up there.
Yeah, I thought he did because that was when the whole "is Brady leaving" is when it started of him moving that stuff out of his house.
Yeah, he said, "I'm out of here, dude." And then
Probably going to bunk up with Bill and Linda and bring the kids, right? Isn't he if he comes back for the presser?
Oh, and Nike the dog.
Yeah.
Oh,
But if Bill's like, Tom, take the whole basement. You guys got it. I'll make you breakfast.
Oh, he probably would too. The eggs in the morning. Imagine walking. We've seen what he looks like in the morning.
Yeah.
That sweatshirt he wore to that one press conference.
Mm-hmm.
You walk down to the kitchen and it's him wearing that with his hair
Just
on.
whitey tighties and a Patriots sweatshirt.
Whistle in his left hand, right hand with the goddamn thing. Over easy or?
Yep. No way. He's not scrambling those eggs. Old school. Yeah.
Well, I don't think Gronk sold his, so I bet he bunks up with Gronky and they have a nice little soiree together.
Oh, you think he'll stay at Gronky's? You don't think he's Airbnb in a house with a bowling alley in it in which you can't bowl? What? That's what we did.
What? Wait a minute. What do you mean?
Caused quite a stir, that one roll of the old duck pin bowl down there. Yeah, it's a duplex. You see, we got in late, and they were, I guess, there's big signs that say, do not bowl after 10 p.m. So,
are we sure that sign was there?
Yeah.
I never looked.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things about that whole. Michael Cole told us 4 hours of stories about his life in the kitchen, around some whiskey.
What?
Couple PBRs.
What?
Copious amounts of marijuana.
What night was this?
This is after SmackDown.
Friday night.
Friday night after SmackDown.
We were crying of laughter.
4 hours straight. Dude,
questioning.
4 hours straight. This dude has lived. When Michael Cole releases a book, I would recommend every human. I don't even know if you could pre-order that yet. I don't think he's wrote it yet. No. We should try to get into this
Let's
war.
pre-order it.
This war correspondent.
I was so mad I didn't film the entire story. The way he told it, it was just so perfect. You couldn't even believe it.
I don't know if he'll ever be able to tell the stories that he told us ever again the way he told them.
No, he was holding court. It was
awesome. And then there would be numerous points where we would stop and go, oh, so this is all bullshit. You're lying to us.
Yes.
Now I got awards. I got
International
it's documented. It's documented. And then he's documented.
I have the tapes.
And then boom, we're right back into this place. It was unbelievable. So I thought maybe, because we got the Airbnb strictly because it had a bowling alley in it. Right. It was like, all right, we're gonna go. We're gonna go bowling.
To bowl.
I didn't even know this was possible. We're gonna definitely do this. Then we get there, we're not allowed to bowl anymore. It's like, kind of a bummer. My room had no TV, no fan, it was kind of a bummer. But then we go down in the kitchen, nice setup.
Oh yeah.
And Cole just went. It was fucking unbelievable.
He's the most interesting man in the world after that.
I agree.
Was he staying with you guys?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He flew with us over from Kansas City, St. Louis, stayed with us. It was awesome. It was fun.
That place down in Orlando, when you were down there, when you were wrestling, that had a bowling alley.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When you go around that Airbnb, you got to at least, if you're going to stay somewhere. I like staying at a place as opposed to a hotel, mostly because if it's in a state in which marijuana is legal, I would like to be able to potentially just walk outside there and then come right back in and not have to worry about anything. And other than the room service, there is no upside to those hotel beds or pillows or anything. No. Airbnbs, although it's somebody else's, so you got to kind of get over that hump. But once you do, it's like, somebody else was probably boning in a hotel bed I was sleeping in too. So it's not that big of a deal. You just kind of do it. I love it. But if you can get one with a bowling alley in it, like you get it.
Do it.
You get that. Yes. Like I think that has been pretty standard status quo here around here for our Airbnb rentals.
Oh yeah.
The ones out in LA, I'll tell you what, we tried our best. There wasn't as many options as we thought there would be. There's not as many options.
The ones you sent me look pretty sweet.
Yeah, pretty sweet, but like no bowling alley.
Damn it.
You know what I mean? There's no bowling alley.
Pac-Man alley?
No full arcade. Yeah. Some of these Airbnbs are fucking ridiculous.
That one in Florida was insane. There was like a sports bar upstairs pretty much. Remember they had the fucking Jumbotron that came down with all the TVs. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Spaceship.
Yeah.
Arcade. Avatar room.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a house that it looks like it was built for people to go to Disneyland. It was legit a house where I feel like maybe 8 families split it and bring all their kids. That's how many beds there were. Like, there were some rooms. There was bunk rooms with like 10 beds in there that kids would sleep.
Yeah.
D-Butt was staying in the princess room.
All by himself. He had
all by himself. He had 4 beds.
All right, let's go to the 5-hour energy phone lines. Anyways, no bowling, but we had a lot of colon.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I mean? It was worth it. It was maybe the best. It was one of the best nights I've ever heard somebody speak.
That's awesome. I want to hang out with him.
He was batting 1,000.
Oh my God.
Cool. He was batting 1,000.
Does he always have the singlet on under his suit?
Funny you say that. I think he did.
Maybe that night.
I just bought some tearaway pants. You know, like when I was playing basketball in middle school, it was a big deal. And we got our tearaway warm-up pants. I just got a pair, and it felt good to put them back on. It really did.
Are they super wide? Are they?
Yeah, they don't make the slim fits, unfortunately. So it's like going back to 1998. But it feels. I tell you what, man, it was cozy.
Yeah, in those, if you don't snap,
I'll bring them to LA.
Well, I was about to say, if you don't snap them off, though, those things are going to get welded together. Basically, it becomes a point where they become a little bit difficult to kind of do back and forth. But what a game changer those were, especially for those of us that run hot. Like me. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
See you later. I'm in my shorts. Who does it now? Humberto Carrillo, I believe. It's SmackDown. Mm-hmm. He has full wrestling tights. And then in the middle of the match, goes right into Just a singlet, little tights on there. That's the first time I've seen him publicly in a long time. AJ, where did you find the snap-offs?
Amazon, just like everything else.
Oh. You on there every day?
I get a lot of stuff on Amazon, yes. But I was talking with my daughter about it because she likes watching basketball. And I was like, yeah, what do you mean? Those are great. And I was telling her about it. So I went on to get her a pair. Couldn't find any small enough. Got myself a pair.
Valid.
Told her I'll keep searching for her.
Yeah, you'll still be able to show her, though. So that's good.
Oh, yeah. There was a big hit when I walked in. Hey, boys. Hey, girl. They're like, oh, my goodness. They never heard of it.
Yeah, those are a thing of the past, like spinners too. Spinners.
Well, Tony talked about it before the zipper pant shorts were half of
all your knees.
Andrew Luck.
With the capri like thing.
Yeah, well, at the knees they had the zipper.
Well, like tech pants, I think they were called.
And you could unzip them. So like as a kid going to gym
class.
the
zipper.
Oh, yes.
Go to shorts.
Oh, and the round. They're fat. Those are all very big, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah, we were much more versatile back in the day. With clothing.
What happened? Velcro too.
I just started wearing tank tops every day.
Hell yeah.
You fall over, a zipper would dig into your knee.
Oh, yeah.
Brutal.
You know what, Nick? You're right. Now that we're getting this chance to dive into your brain a little bit and hear how you think.
Happy birthday, Nick. I wanted to tell him. I texted him. I wanted to tell him.
Holy shit. What do you think we're about?
Yeah, what the hell?
We're just about to get into that.
I had no idea where you were going.
Oh,
you son of a bitch.
Thank you, AJ. I think that was the appropriate amount of attention that deserves.
Hey, happy birthday, Nick.
Happy birthday.
Love you, man.
Freaking did it.
Happy birthday. Thank you, AJ, for getting that off first.
AJ ruined the surprise.
On a horse's ass.
You're a hero, AJ. You're
I
a
assumed
hero.
you started the show with it. I assumed that's how the show started. I didn't see it at noon.
No, it's how we're ending the show. Obviously, best for last, dude. This is
born
it.
at 3 o'clock, dude.
Yeah,
Congrats, Nick.
2:54. 2:54. You cut us off two minutes early. Okay, I was going to do a 2-minute talk.
Look at us, just finishing each other's thoughts, right? Know what we're doing?
Well, yeah, certainly. That's
Paul Rudd.
That's the way to describe that. Who would have thought? Huh?
Look at us.
Happy birthday, Nick.
Happy birthday.
Thanks. You guys are the best.
Did you like favorite
How old are you,
memories
Nick?
or something?
How old are you, AJ?
38 years old. I've told you that a bunch.
36.
Okay. Congrats, man. That's awesome. Good for you.
Another trip around the sun. Way to go.
You look like you're 24. You look
That's
good.
right. Hey, that's right.
Hell yeah.
I don't think that's necessarily true, but. No, he looks like he's 28. This is 28-year-old Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 28-year-old Nick right here.
A lot of miles on this body. I feel like 36 is the appropriate look and age.
Nick did live through 4 generations of people that live in one area that is maybe the hardest drinking area in town. That is a town of drinking.
Yeah, that'll age you.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Your competitive stamina down there at the south side of Pittsburgh,
like
which
Tom
is
Brady.
a world record holding bar town. It is a booze place.
What?
We talked about it a lot. Normally you live there for a couple of years and then you kind of say, all right, I can't do it anymore. Nick was there for a good solid 6 to 8 years.
Wow.
Just eating grit on the south side. Just
Whoa.
eating it. And I want to let you know you handled that beautifully. The transition into this job, you've absolutely crushed. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Nick.
This guy's lived, dude. This guy has lived.
Hey, looks good.
Damn near died a few times, too, I assume.
You ever heard the term, someone says, oh, they've been rode hard and put away wet?
What?
It's like a horse.
Excuse me?
It's about training a horse.
I had family members that used to say that about people if you saw somebody that was struggling maybe, or, yeah.
I think rode hard, obviously, hard work, and then wet, I think, through the rain, too, I believe.
Sweating.
Oh, I thought he was talking
sweating.
about. I thought he was talking about his mom.
All right.
Oh, come on.
Happy birthday.
Oh,
dude.
my God.
Happy birthday. I think he's talking about Pistol's wife, I think.
Oh, no. She's the one that would say that, actually, about people.
No, so it is his mom.
Holy shit.
All right. Well, that's a show. That's a good way to go out on it. That's how awards are won.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
Hell yeah.
Send this to
Clip
the
this.
Emmys.
Clip it, Heavy.
Clip this in the phone call with Steven in Nashville. And then we'll really win something. Nick, we appreciate the hell out of you, buddy. Happy birthday to everybody. Thank you, boys, for all your hard work. AJ, great show today by you.
Great show, AJ.
Vinatieri, the draft that is no longer a draft, David Bakhtiari, Michael Lombardi, Tom Brady's retirement, marijuana sales, coaching searches. What a day it has been. I assume Mad Dog will be much better. We'll see in about 21 hours.
There it is.
That was a hit. That was a home run.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Put that in for the award, too.
Yep.
Come on.
Send it. Send it now.
AJ, you want to answer some phone calls, dude? And then,
Yeah.
You know, the tonal's at the house. Me and
The what?
Tonal.
What is that?
All right.
Come on, dude.
Is that the mirror? The mirror
That's why
workout
I
thing?
know. That's why I know you ain't got a real one of these.
Is that the mirror workout thing that LeBron is pubbing?
It's not a. There is a mirror there, I guess, but yeah, it is like the greatest home gym of all time. Takes up the least amount of space, gives the most amount of resistance. How you doing? Keep it moving. Me and LeBron.
So
James.
it's a sponsor?
No, they're not. I paid full price and the delivery was delayed. But it is officially at the house. So what I'm saying is, look out. Okay, these thighs hanging from my shoulders are only going to grow because me, LeBron James, and my tonal, pal.
Hell yeah. Hey, you're jacked, man.
I had somebody look at me the other day and go, "What?"
Curl your wrist, though, to get the peak of your bicep going.
Who?
Tuck your wrist in.
You tuck your wrist. What do you mean?
You know what I'm saying? Like this. Okay, so like this. Do this when you're flexing for your bicep.
I do that when I'm out a window of a car.
Ice.
Yeah.
What'd you say, pal?
What?
No, I was ice skating a couple of days ago. My son's birthday. Took a nasty fall on my elbow, and this thing's been bleeding for 2 days.
Are you okay? Don't let it be like Bakhtiari's knee, dude. Let's get that thing fixed right now.
Told you couldn't skate.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, we knew that.
I got out there. The kids were all playing hockey at this rink,
On
and so I got out
skates?
there with some. Oh yeah, so I got out there with some sticks. I got out there with a stick. Was trying to score some goals, and I took a hard fall right in the corner. Whew.
So what was the hardest?
It hurt bad.
What was the
It really
hardest? You know, skating isn't that difficult. It's the stopping, right, that becomes the problem.
Yeah, and I was circling around trying to get a guy to give me a one-timer. I got all discombobulated. And then all of a sudden, like 3 hours later, I'm watching the games at night, and my whole like black shirt I'm wearing is soaking wet, and I realize I've been bleeding for a long time.
Jesus.
My God.
And it's only a small little cut, but it won't stop, and there's fluid behind it. That was like when I'm talking to old Takatari, I'm like, man, I need my elbow.
This is a great birthday gift for Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, hockey
Thank you,
beating the shit out of you is a great birthday gift for Nick.
Made my
Skating
day.
figure eights, waiting for one timer.
Oh yeah, I got my puck down. I was smacking the ice. Like, come on, one-timer. Come on, buddy. Yeah. They were good. These kids are way better than me.
Are
They
you
were
a
very
no
good.
shit? Yeah. Are you a righty or a lefty?
Righty.
You coming around with the fucking stick up like you're Ovechkin. Oh my God. Are these college age kids, high school age kids? How old?
It was a 9th birthday party.
So they just running out open.
There's an open. We did. It was my son's. There's an open ice rink that they put up in an outdoor area, and so we worked and figured it out. And we rented it for an hour and had like a 22 kid ice hockey game going on.
That is amazing.
Sweet.
All these kids can skate. I didn't know that many people could skate these days.
I didn't either. My son's like whole class came, and then there his other buddies. And some of them play hockey and were studs. One kid was in his full hockey gear with helmet and everything.
Michael Did you hit him? Did you fucking?
No, he's the man. He's a great kid. He was really, really good.
Yeah, I could imagine.
They scared me to death. I'm out there trying not to fall. I can skate a little bit, and they're just zooming past me. I think the whole time, like, I need a helmet or something.
No helmet, no pads, just
No,
one
no one
stick
had-
and a lot of grit.
Oh,
Were they
yeah.
your skates or did you rent them?
Oh, I don't have. No, I rented them.
Oh,
well, that's why.
Come on. You need to sharpen
I
those
can't blame the
skates.
skates, man. I don't think Bowers would have made me into Gretzky.
Never know.
I'm saying.
Were they figure skates?
No, they weren't. They were actually cool. They were like blades. You know how your blades strap, so I didn't have to tie them. So they were like you strapped them in, but they're all right. They weren't
What a
bad.
dork.
Yeah.
Sound Mickey Mouse.
Come
So you
on,
had the cheapest
AJ.
skates possible.
They weren't the white. They weren't the white like figure skates that you ran. They weren't that.
Or the
Those.
brown ones, I guess. Did this muscle right here kill you?
Yeah, I mean, I only went on the ice for about 12 to 14 minutes. So I took that fall and then I just kind of posted up.
Couple shifts.
That's solid third line minutes for it.
Yeah.
I was skating hard. I realized too. I was like, man, I understand why they have these line changes because I was skating pretty hard and I got tired.
Yeah, they play like 1 minute at a time, basically. You're out there 12 to 14 minutes. I can't find a stick, which is a goddamn shame. It's probably out there because we're playing a little hockey. But just the thought of you commanding one-timers from 9-year-olds and then them watching you eat shit.
But it was like a spinning fall where I'm like, you could see me going for probably 4 seconds. Yeah.
And then here
Bam.
on the boards?
Just directly onto the ice with my elbow.
Oh.
There's
You
definitely
had no elbow pads on?
Oh no! I was asking other kids, "You guys got elbow pads on?" Nobody did. I'm like, man, I could have really used them.
Dude, you got elbow pads.
Yeah. There had to be a conversation too, like, hey, stop passing the puck to Mr. Hawk because he fucking sucks at hockey.
Mr. Hawk's a problem.
Well, we didn't have enough sticks, so they were happy to get me off the ice so they could take my stick. So the kid could open up.
I mean, the kid who was in full garb was probably like, we need to get this chump off the ice right now so we can start scoring some goals.
You guys were using pucks too, full pucks.
I got 2 pop-up nets that I brought, and I got some sticks, and then his friends brought sticks. I actually lost the net on the way back. It was in the back of my truck. Had it weighted down. Realized
you are a problem, dude. You are a menace on the road.
We've gone back and looked. We haven't found it yet. We're gonna find that stuff.
Did you get slew-footed? Is that how you fell?
Get what?
Slew-footed.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, come on, dude.
You know, I can say, I know, what do they say? Oh, you lost your edge or whatever? Your blade came off? I could say that.
You know, you're lucky you didn't catch somebody else's skate. I had a friend that ate a skate on one of those Friday $5 open ice situation. That was always so much fun. Always ended terribly, though. I think, like, it was a great time to be had. I think a lot of people used to go back and skate a lot. Like, back in the day, I think it was much more something you would do. Because obviously, not rollerblades, the skates.
Mm-hmm.
That back in the day, whenever we used to go down to Harmerville, what was that? It was like a
Blade Runners.
Yeah, it was like you'd rollerblade in a circle, and then there was the entire line. I mean,
like a roller derby.
Roller skates. Then there's people roller skating around. That is just like fucking so smooth. I seen a guy down on one leg.
Yeah,
like,
Floyd Mayweather. He does that.
Yeah, there is some that is. I seen a guy down on one leg going all the way, somehow gaining speed while he was going backwards around, and I'm just on my rollerblades trying not to die. And then that would transition into the winter. Everybody would go ice skate in circles and everything like that. That still happens. That's good to hear that still takes place. That feels like that was a little gritty. It was tough.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you had to deal with the cold there. You had to figure out something that wasn't easy. That still happened. I like that. I like that a lot.
A clip of it just went viral actually this past weekend of a roller derby. This guy weaving in and out of people. I think the caption was like, "This is how motherfuckers in the Nissan Altima drive."
Oh yeah, I've seen him. Yeah, he was jumping up around.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
He was awesome.
Yeah,
I believe there's some sort of code in there, and I don't think we should just be jumping around people over there at the.
No, you have to be a seasoned vet.
Yes.
Yeah. Or regular.
That guy, he did it for maybe like 10 straight minutes too. I'm like, whoa, shit.
Impressive.
Is that the most talented human of all time? Let me get this soft pretzel real quick. I'm going to go do this thing. What a day. What a life. Thank you so much.
Soft pretzel and red cream soda. That's what we had at our skating parties.
Oh.
Damn. It's good.
How much
Fountain red cream soda. If you could get the little pellet ice too, man, there's not much I can touch that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Pepsi Cola is great.
Did you?
Shut up.
You hate Pepsi, dude. That's not even real.
I love Pepsi.
You said that before they got canceled too, by the way.
Did they get canceled?
I'm surprised. Oh, yeah.
Pepsi. Okay,
you tell me,
honestly,
dude. That's literally all you look at on the
Forget
internet.
your Carhartt shirt today, AJ?
What did you say?
Did you forget your Carhartt shirt today?
Is that something now too? I have Carhartt gear.
Yeah, what
I
don't know.
Your algorithm's lying to you, dude. You're normally you're on top of all this stuff.
Carhartt's out now. What happened?
Well, I don't know, but I just seen people saying no more in my Carhartt.
Yep. I don't know either.
See, I can't keep track of all this.
You remember there was a time Olive Garden was dead.
Oh yeah.
They seem to have made a comeback.
What did they?
Breadsticks always survive.
Yeah.
What did they do?
Can't kill breadsticks.
This is way back. Remember, there was like somebody got canceled on like a Tuesday, a Wednesday, a Thursday, then Olive Garden got it on a Friday.
I believe that's when Cracker Barrel got banned as well.
Boom, boom,
It was
bang,
during that
boom,
week.
boom, boom.
Yep.
What I'm saying is, how much was that fucking skate thing to rent out? Was it expensive, reasonably priced, you think?
It was reasonable. Only for 1 hour. It was reasonable because we basically did it like as it was closing for the rest of the public, and then we had it for an hour.
I'm gonna do it for Little Phil's too.
Oh, there you go.
Just rent out a bunch of ice rinks over there.
There you go.
Hey Phil, why don't we do some research on CFO Phil? Why don't we do some research on how much these things cost? I'd like an hour every morning for Little Phil. Whole rink. Would like the whole rink for Little Phil.
Only conditioning.
AJ Hawk has to skate against him every morning.
Yes.
And by the way, when AJ wants a one-timer, Little
You
Phil,
give it to
you
him.
fucking feed him. You feed him.
If you want to build grit, you find a pond and have him shovel it off with his skates on.
Did you see him the other day?
That's what you do.
See him the other day?
Doing that?
They're at the pond.
Good.
And he's not just taking the puck and shooting it in like I would do if I was pond hockey, and I'd just stand there right in front of the thing, and then I'd skate to get the pucks, and then I'd skate back, and then I would just shoot the end. He's skating laps and figure eights.
Foxy, that kid's got more grit in his pinky toe already than you've ever had.
In your life,
Sure
kid.
thing. Sure thing. I'm from Hockey Town. I know hockey. Not from off-brand Hockey Town.
I believe you.
Oh, shut up. You can't skate for more than 12 minutes. I don't need to hear from you, pal.
Never said I could.
Who is your team? The Penguins?
Blue Jackets?
I'm just a hockey fan in general right now.
That boy.
Oh, Rob Lowe,
I like the
NHL.
Avs. I like Colorado. Colorado's my squad right now, the Avs.
Right now.
Yeah, fucking bandwagon this guy.
This is just like the AFL. He pulled this shit.
Oh, yeah, he picked 4 different teams.
Yeah, kept
in the
switching.
AFL.
He knows a guy on the team.
On which team?
Colorado.
They never get it
Fuck
done
them,
in the
dude.
playoffs
Joe
anyways. There's
Sakic?
nothing to worry
Oh,
about.
Patty Wall.
Who?
Patty Wall.
Their coach has sweet hair too in Colorado.
No, I ain't about the Colorado team. Who cares about the Colorado team? The Broncos are for sale over there. That's all anybody's talking about.
It ain't about the look.
Who's he know on the team, Nick?
His brother-in-law.
Oh, family over there. Great team.
Yes, I'm a bandwagon fan for him.
Jake Johnson.
Hey, it's a great team, that Avalanche squad.
Can't get over the hump, but they're a good squad in the regular season.
Well, it ain't about that, okay? Not with old Mr. JJ on the squad, especially with that locker room, the way those boys are playing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that place is great. I love the
Great barn out there, I hear.
Have you been?
The Pepsi side?
No, but when we're trying to go out for his 1,000th game whenever that happens.
All right. Hey, let's have it happen, all right?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll happen in Pittsburgh so we can all remember it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. You know what I mean?
How was Pittsburgh doing?
Oh, we lost a couple days ago.
Okay, so now that's all I need to know.
And we lost again, back-to-back shootouts.
No, but I did see you guys are out of the wild card spot, and you're in one of the premier.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, bro, we won 17 out of 21 games. Now, it was 17 out of 19, and then, 20 came, and then 21 came, and then had to keep doing that math. And one of them was to fucking bullshit-ass Detroit while I was with somebody.
You guys lost to the Red Wings.
Lost to the Red
I
Wings.
forget when it was. We were walking somewhere, and this was obviously in the Royal Rumble weekend travels. And Foxy goes, I don't want to have to tell you this. And he's got a camera on me. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? He's like, the Red Wings just beat the hell out of the Penguins or something like that. And I'm like, get out of my face, dude. We were driving somewhere.
Yeah,
we almost got
driving.
lost.
It was late at night.
Foxy said, hey, hate to break the news, man, but Penn just lost to Red Wings. What's going on? Are we not a team anymore? Did
It
we
was
play
a
our seventh?
back-to-back. They played the night before. The backup goalie was playing. It was a shootout. It was
Sorry.
a throwaway game.
That's what I thought. We didn't have any of our
No
players
such
playing.
thing as a throwaway
The
game. when you're
Smith
from
is in
Hockey
net.
Town.
The Guinos are dead. You
Every
need a
game
good backup.
you're playing this
You
season
need a good backup.
Is a throwaway game because you're not even going to make the playoffs.
You stink. Welcome to the throwaway season, Detroit.
Out in Hockey Town.
Another-
Look, I'd be mad too. You guys are a lesser hockey city. And the Red
Got you thinking, huh? Got you thinking. Got you thinking there, huh? You're not making the playoffs. You just learned you weren't making the playoffs, I think, from Nick there. And that
Season's
really.
not over. Season's just starting.
Oh, this is classic. Detroit doesn't get invited to the tournament again.
Oh, just wait.
You
just
and the
wait.
Indy Fuel both playing in the playoffs this year.
Exactly. Classic non-playoff team. Season just starts at the end of February.
Tell you what,
Not the
I
beginning.
may have overreacted. They are right on the heels of the Boston Bruins.
How you
We could
doing?
see
Not
it.
word.
I hope not.
And
Not
they
word.
beat the Penguins. Do I have the best hockey team in the office? Yes.
No.
Texas hockey,
No.
pal. The
No.
boys are buzzing.
Who?
Texas hockey beat the Bruins 6-1 the other
Well,
night.
Bruins stink. Who cares?
No, it was a back-to-back night. We
You're
played
beating
the night
that,
before.
that 9-year-old birthday party, basically, whenever you're playing against that Bruins
Beat
team
the
over in
Penguins,
Ohio.
too.
We're going to the playoffs.
Who?
What are you
hate
talking
the
about?
break.
You guys stink.
No,
I
we
hate to
don't.
break it to everybody,
don't bring
but
the
Jackie
runners
fucking
into
Aces
this.
is coming back this
No,
week.
man.
Jack, I
No,
know.
Jack hasn't
matter.
played in years.
No, Jackie
Stoner.
fucking Aces.
Isn't Stoner coming?
Well, it's funny you
Stoner
mention that.
sucks.
Stoner just had an OT shootout winner the other night.
No, that's
Play
only
once
one
a
piece
month, dude.
Yeah.
Doesn't even count. in
Vegas
this
is hot right now. Don't
Are
look
the,
now.
Are the Penguins the worst team in the office?
Best team.
You
by
shut
far.
your fucking mouth.
Check their records, dude. Dummy. No, it's the Blackhawks by far.
Yeah, they stink.
They are.
They do
Yeah,
stink.
they are
Where's
the
Zito?
Zito might actually be
Well,
crying. He's gone. You laughed.
Wait, where
He
is
walked
he?
it off.
Where is he?
Big Blackhawks fan.
Do you guys know what happened? I don't know what happened. I looked over. He's not there.
Yeah.
Well, I just
What, Deej? What?
what happened during the last break? I mean, that bathroom smell so bad.
Zito says everybody else is pooping when they miss the interview. You're saying
there's a chance. Connor and Ty walked in and immediately had to walk out.
There's a chance that Z dropped an absolute nuke in the bathroom 40 minutes ago, and I don't know if he's still battling it, but it was.
Haven't seen him since?
Yeah, I haven't seen him since.
Someone check on him, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolute nuke.
Zito!
What if his gout flared up while he was sitting there? And he can't get up?
Certainly. Yeah, I assume the gout did pop up. He's been gone in tournaments.
I've never seen Zeke leave. Has he ever left during the show like this to take a big dump?
No, not taking a big dump, but he's gone in areas.
I'm fighting a nosebleed right now.
Oh,
thanks, guys.
Cocaine.
That's what happens when you push that hard, dude. Oh, that was not on me. You two walked out.
What? No, I don't even.
And Foxy, when we opened the door, said, "Don't even come in here."
It was bad.
Foxy did say that.
Obviously in the female bathroom, right? That's
No.
No, Zito's a gentleman.
That's why you have to go to the female bathroom.
Caught me off guard. Almost fainted.
God damn it.
All right, so he got a nosebleed from that or not? Are those not
You push that
associated?
hard, did you blow your eardrums?
Yeah, or just the stench.
Come on, boys. Come on.
Those bathrooms. That's the worst case scenario. Both those bathrooms.
Well, and then also his gout might have. I mean, who knows? He's battling the nose, the foot, and the ass, maybe.
Mike
Zito's got a 3-front war going on. Come on, Zito.
I've been there. I've been there. Good luck.
We love Zito, man. Sorry you're going through the Z. All right, that's the show, man. Hammer down being 15 minutes.
He's pooping.
He's pooping, man. Hope you're all right, Z.
Come on, Z.
Good luck, Z.
Love you.
Z's
What if he walked in there and he's doing that? He's got things stuffed in his nose. He's sitting on the toilet. He's got his nose bleeding and he can't get
crying?
off.
Oh my God, the whole thing. His feet are
Save
ice.
the show. Save the show, Foxy.
All right, Hammer Don's in 15 minutes. It should be great, I assume. Maybe we'll get an update on how Zito's doing.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/Hammer Don. Hey, Zito, we love you, buddy.
Love you.
Big thanks to Vinny, Bakhtiari, and Lombo. AJ, you were fantastic today. We appreciate that. All the boys, great work.
Great work, Pat.
You guys,
Great work,
you
Pat.
guys didn't have any adversity today, though. One of us had to really battle.
Yeah.
And he's still going through it right now. So let's continue to keep him in our thoughts and prayers as we exit this show.
Love you, Z.
Good booking, by the way. Came in today with not really sure what was going on today.
What are you talking about?
Well, nobody. We had nobody for the show.
Oh, yeah, we had no guests.
booking
Yeah, we
by
had no
you.
guests today, and then we made some things happen. Lombo coming by on this day is awesome. Thank you, Lombo.
Thank you, Lombo.
Vinatieri,
Vinny?
seeing him last night, it was like, God damn, I forgot how cool Vinny is. He and I were just chatting last night, and what a perfect day for him to come on and chit-chat about Tom Brady and everything. And then Bakhtiari, great booking. Hey, AJ.
Hey, AJ.
Come on, AJ.
Hey, baby.
Did we lose
Is he
him?
peeing?
Does he have sound?
I'm right here. I'm here.
Can you hear him? Zito.
No, is he?
Zito.
Zito.
I can't hear.
There's no hope.
Zito. We lost AJ. It doesn't matter. Show's over.
Yeah, gone.
Huh?
What?
You're gonna do that to another caller. They're gonna get pissed.
Yeah, I can't hear a word he's saying.
No.
Yeah. All right. Whatever.
That's tough. That's a shame.
That's the show.
What are you going to do?
I can't hear you. What? You guys muted yourself.
Well, I
This
mean,
is a problem, right? You can't have
Look
this
at you
No,
try.
yeah.
Look at. I watched your brain try to do that. Try to act like it didn't hear me. I saw it in real time.
All right, that's the show. See you, everybody. Goodbye.
Oh, now he can hear me.
What's that?
who?
What?
Hi. Hi, you're speaking in the microphone.
What?
In front of a bookshelf.
What?
Have you ever said if that bookshelf's real or not?
What?
Hey, is that bookshelf real?
What?
People ask me that a lot.
Me too. I've been getting it more often now. And I don't know how to handle myself when the question comes.
What do you mean?
Well, I've never been there. I don't know. So I don't know how to give the answer, you know?
You've been there. You've sat in this chair.
I didn't look backwards, though, because spaceships don't come with rear view mirrors. They dip. That's what I did when I sat down there. I didn't even look at it.
There you go.
Fair enough.
Can you grab one of those books for us, though, just so the people can see, maybe your favorite one?
Yeah.
No, they're all my favorite, man.
What about the ones that are just stacked sloppily on top of the other ones?
It's all there for a reason. Like, it's not sloppily.
Did you cover all the names of the books?
Yeah, what'd you?
It's kind of weird.
Some of them, yeah. A lot of them.
Why, you want to censor the author?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Use the Dewey Decimal System?
Aren't they censoring a lot of books now?
Is that a Dewey Decimal System library behind you?
It could be.
You're the one who put it together.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ask Amazon. It was $19 from them.
Which one?
The backdrop. And then I got some gaffer tape and I taped it to the ceiling.
Oh, wow.
What are you talking about?
Wait, what?
Yeah. I hate to break it to you.
What?
Evie, clip this. This is winning awards.
Clipped.
What are you talking about?
Some of these books may not be real, Pat. I'm not saying all of them, but some of them might not be real. Some of them might not be real.
Wow, I noticed they never moved. None of them had names on them.
Don't you remember one time though? I had it looked like a Brooklyn background going on.
You mean the wood? That was when you were in New York. That was when you were doing that world tour. Remember?
That's right.
You were on a lake, and then you were in the city, then you were on the beach.
Give COVID
to everybody. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, can't fly anywhere? Cool. We'll just hop in a very small van and invite strangers in with us.
Yeah.
Stop at every gas
What
stop.
strangers am I taking with me?
I don't know. I just assumed you were trying to get COVID for everybody from here. So that's fake.
Yeah, some of these books are fake.
Fraud.
Wow. All right. Just learned that there was no Christmas all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? No jolly fat guy.
God damn it. Easter bunny?
What can you believe anymore?
Nothing.
Not this guy.
I mean, you can believe in Fauci. That's about it.
Of course. We can believe in.
Believe in Denmark.
Hey, we will believe in Denmark.
So everything's off there, huh?
That's what Elon Musk said. Our resident alien said Denmark says, hey, no more
good to
COVID
go.
restrictions. Do what you got to do. They did what the NFL did.
Wow.
You know, the NFL said, hey, unless you got some symptoms that you feel like you should report, all systems go, dude.
Don't worry about
We're
it.
going to have 60 million people watching an afternoon game. We don't need any potential, we're deciding you have something that can't play. Okay, you come to us. We ain't coming to you.
Bingo.
That's what Denmark said, too. Denmark said, listen, you got it. You come to us. Hopefully we'll figure it out. But if not, just go ahead.
Do your thing.
You'll be fine.
Will we follow along and see how they do, obviously?
We'll have to.
As the rest of the world?
We'll have to.
We'll have to.
They haven't had a case in 5 days.
Boom.
Denmark has it? That's because nobody's getting
No, that's not tested though.
tested.
I like that strategy.
Well, that strategy is an interesting one that should probably get talked about a little bit more in situations.
Yeah.
The more people taking tests, the more we learn. Of course.
Bingo.
That's right.
SATs.
Go
That's a test you take. The more you learn.
That's right. All right.
Well said.
That's the show. Hopefully Denmark lives, you know?
Yeah.
We need them not to just completely die. Like every human in Denmark, we need them not to die.
Yeah, that wouldn't be great.
They don't take the SATs in Canada.
Really, Paul?
No,
What's
they
that
don't.
all about?
No, that's not true. There's like 3 times a year you can take them. I never took them because I went to clown college.
Hell yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What'd you-
Painter school. I mean, same thing.
Oh! I think I'm in an actual clown school. There's a clown school here.
Oh yeah.
Steve-O.
There's a mascot school here as well.
SATs?
I don't know if they're taking SATs.
Painters? You went to painter school?
They're failing
Dump?
them.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it than you'd think, AJ.
Did you ever have to be the nude model and they all painted you?
No, it's industrial painting, dude.
What's
You
this
didn't
guy
tell
think
me
this
industrial.
Yeah, no, it's not art school.
is? What's this guy think this is, Gump?
You ever read a book, dude?
Oh!
Union School. It's under a bridge in Surrey. It's a nice spot.
What you learn over there?
Ooh.
Oh,
I was hands-on. You get into the bookwork. It's a little troubling. The pigments, the dyes. It's tough stuff.
you're ready though.
I mean, I was. You had to do
I'm
it.
sure you can cut in a corner with the best of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a walk in the park, AJ. You don't forget.
Not for everybody, Gump.
Well, that's because you went to painter school.
That's right.
It was,
Did work.
if you could spray, you were a top dog at the shipyard if you could spray. If you didn't know how to spray, you were a schlub.
You could spray, huh?
I mean, I hosed it on with the best of them, my friend.
There was no fly.
Hey, congratulations. Is it fire hose or garden hose? You put the thumb over, or is it like car paint spray?
Yeah, same thing, but it's hooked up to a compressor, so it fucking... One guy shot it into his hand, injected paint into his hand. You hose it on, dude. It gets going. It's intense.
Penetrated.
Did I go to painter school? Did you graduate from painter school?
Hell yeah.
Top of the class?
I wouldn't say that, but in the 90s.
You could spray.
In the 90s. That's what I said.
In the 90s. That's fucking Dean's list.
Yeah. So I don't...
Chancellor's list.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
I don't need the paperwork. Just give me the gun.
Wow.
He dominated in the field study.
Well, and also in the classroom, I'm learning.
Yeah.
Boots on the ground.
Hell yeah.
Just full gas mask on.
Sometimes if you were doing the side of a ship, you'd have a driver. The driver in the man lift would drive and go up and down while you just fucking hosed her.
What a gig that is.
Good?
Gig. Yeah, how do you get that gig?
The driving
driver?
gig?
Yeah.
They fall asleep probably in the middle of
I mean, if you got a bad driver, you're in a bad spot.
Yeah, because you're stuck up there.
You're just bouncing up and down trying to spray.
How long does it take to paint one of those big sons of bitches?
If we got going, we'd do it in a night.
One night,
Really?
too.
Do you guys do all like the? Don't you sandblast it to clean it all off and everything?
Yeah, you go right down to bare metal, then you put a couple coats of primer, then you hose the finish on.
Naturally.
Hey, thanks for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cup.
Thank you.
Salt eats away at that paint.
Don't forget to put your tarps up so you don't get overspray all over the cars in the parking lot, though.
Yeah, smart.
Can't do that.
Learn the hard way.
Yeah, got a little graffiti. Look at this thing, got a little spray on it. Yeah, the ocean spray does beat the shit out of those ships.
Big time.
That's why you need Gumpy out there.
That's right.
Dean's List, painter school.
That's right.
All right, AJ, anything else you want to talk about here on this beautiful Tom Brady's officially retired Tuesday?
No, I think I'm good.
Did you send the belt over so we could send it out to a winner?
I have not sent it yet.
This guy.
Hurry up, dude.
It's called a title, by the way.
You're right.
Belt hold your pants up.
You're right. You're 100% right.
I thought you would know that.
Well,
being
I
what your
taught you
job
that.
is.
I think I taught you that, but I do understand.
I think Sam Roberts taught me that.
Sam Roberts also a person probably taught me that as well. So, same sensei. Let's answer a phone call. Caleb in San Antonio. What's going on, Caleb?
Pat, AJ, Boston Connor, big day for you, and you might like to hear this, but with Tom Brady Tuesday being the focus and talking about greatness, it seems we always have a call. We always have to call someone out, and really putting the Chiefs and Andy Reid in particular, because they're always put on the same pedestal over the last few years. So are we letting Andy Reid off too easy? We're really talking a lot more about those two dancing queens than Andy. And so my question is, Andy is the only coach to take two different teams to 4 straight conference championship games, 0-1 to 0-4 with the Eagles and 18-21 with the Chiefs, and only won 1 Super Bowl. Great feat, but overrated for only 1 Super. Any thoughts?
Caleb, great call. Had some stats, analytics, a little punditry in there. I think we're all so happy for Andy Reid getting his Super Bowl win because of the things that you were just saying right there. And maybe people do let Andy Reid off too easy, but I assume they're not done. So anything you say about him will get a chance to get checked within the next couple of years. But you're right. 1 Super Bowl ring for Andy. Should be more. Hey, should be more, Andy. Come on. Come on.
Is that like what the majority of people that are NFL fans think?
No, I don't think so. Caleb had a little bit of an axe to grind there. I don't know what that was all about.
Andy's going to run into the problem, like Belichick has recently. Like, well, he couldn't do it without Mahomes. Like, can he do it without Mahomes, or just like Bell with Brady?
There's always some narrative to cook out there. But now he's got Joey Burrow and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and Herbert and maybe Aaron Rodgers for the Indianapolis Colts.
Maybe Mac Jones.
I mean, he got the 4 straight NFC championships. They lost in the Super Bowl to Brady once, and then he goes to Kansas City and basically does the same thing again. Wins one, though. Loses again to Brady.
I think he's good. I think he's done good. But I do like the fact that Caleb's like, let's have a little bit more accountability for the big guy.
He's definitely done good, but like we don't talk about the Bills in the 90s because they lost. Like no one gives a shit if you don't win.
Well, they had that 4 falls of
Yeah. The documentary about sucking.
No, it's not about sucking. It's about how good those teams actually were and not getting enough credit for how good they were and how hard that is.
Yeah.
And he's
They
also
don't get
very
credit.
jolly, so that helps.
It certainly helps.
Connor,
Andy's very likable.
I love the fact that you have this completely skewed version of what success is in the NFL because of what Tom and Bill were able to do for 20 years. A lot of people are a little bit worried for you guys, though, that now you're going to have to experience what life is like everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, just making the playoffs. This was the coolest season for me just because, like, week 1 mattered. Like, before it really was, okay, when's December coming?
And I guess you'll forever be able to say, like, yeah, but we won 6 championships or whatever forever, for your entire life.
Yeah, forever. And
for
like,
your entire lifetime. Even if it doesn't happen again, you'll be able to say, this team stinks. This team doesn't have any greatness around it. We won 6 championships. You'll be able to say it for the next 40 years, you think, in your head.
Well,
50
I mean, honestly, thanks to you and SeatGeek, like, being able to go to a Super Bowl and for them to win, like, it's not as if, like, I got to experience that. So it's really like there's.
So even if the Patriots don't win a Super Bowl for the rest of your life, you'll still be able to say, like, yeah, greatness is New England.
I got to experience it. Like 20 years of my life, that's what, like, hopefully like a fourth of my life. So I got to experience that for damn near all of it.
Because people being compared to Tom Brady and that Patriots is going to be a never-ending quest for. Like, nobody's going to be able to do that. I don't think everybody's going to ever be able to do it again. I mean, maybe, like, we're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, but they broke it down. He's got to go to, if he plays for 14 more years, he's got to go to the Super Bowl every other year to match what match what Tom Brady did. Like, that's impossible what they did. And it's not just Tom, obviously. Everybody talks about just Tom. And I think that's what Caleb's saying. Hey, we got to talk about Andy Reid there. But if you're comparing Andy Reid to Bill Belichick and the Patriots, and that's what everybody's going to be compared to. That's going to be a tough go, I think, for a lot of teams. I think it's going to be a tough go for a lot of legacies and a lot of teams.
And we talk about, like, the 20-year reign, and obviously 6 is a ton. 6 in 20 years, like, that's so hard to do. And I think, obviously, the Chiefs have experienced that because now it's the same thing for the Chiefs. The Chiefs season doesn't start until December.
And what if the Bengals just go on to just say, we're going to be a team, actually, that's going to do this. No indoor facility, no money spent, no scouting department, no stakes for the boys. We're going to do it.
It's just too damn hard because every year it's going to be a different team. It feels like now.
What if the ownership over there, after this money from the Super Bowl comes in, and they become like, they buy their own plane, they become like the nicest place of all that. We're just waiting for the team to prove to us that we should invest in them, and this team has proved it. What if that happens out of nowhere?
Yeah, they seem more like the type that's like, oh, we did it without that stuff. Why do we need it?
Well, that's what I don't want other owners to see. Yeah, I don't want other owners to see what's going on in Cincinnati and say that's the model. You know, AJ?
Yeah, I don't know if they're saying that's the model, but. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm interested in how it's different with Katie Blackburn and his daughter running the team more than when Mike Brown was. Now they're both doing it together. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the future is for the Bengals. Can they become a dynasty?
Congrats, Katie.
Congrats, Katie.
Congrats.
I mean,
Blackburn. Mr. Blackburn.
That's what sucks for them is, like, what if Lamar Jackson gets another wide receiver and he wins the MVP again?
And what if Justin Herbert and the Chargers win those games that they lose somehow?
And what if, Josh Allen and the Bills bring back all 22 again and they become the 1 seed? It's going to be hard to go up to Buffalo in late January.
And what if Mac Jones is a guy?
And what if Mac Jones is a guy? And we get a receiver.
What happens when Arch Manning gets drafted by the Colts?
Boom. What happens if the Dolphins get Mike McDaniels and turns Tua and Jalen Waddle into Burrow and Jamar Chase?
Brings Debo with them.
God, the future of the AFC.
It's Diesel. That's why the NFC, if you're a quarterback maybe thinking about retirement and Brady's gone and there's some teams that are in tough situations, you might want to go back.
No, because the Colts, if they get a team, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, the AFC is so young and so good. The NFC is wide open.
I thought we were trying to win Super Bowls for Indiana.
Oh, you're saying Kyler Murray is nothing? What?
Kyler Murray's good, but he's a live bet quarterback, right? It's pretty safe to say.
What about Jared Goff and MCDC and them up there?
Exactly.
NFC North. You don't know what the NFC North is going to cook out.
That's right.
All those draft picks, we're going to build a good squad.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. We took a call. We did our thing. We talked about this. We talked about that. We had some guests hammered downs in 15 minutes. Let's have a goddamn Tuesday. See you all tomorrow. Bye.